Chapter 1421. The holy sword was even refined, causing Chen Shang to be extremely shocked. He could guess that the man had taken out some precious materials to refine for the divine sword palace, which was why he asked such a question. However, from the way he asked, he did not seem to take it as an important matter at all. I can refine it in the afternoon, the elder replied. It has already been 18 months. At the beginning, you all said that it could be completed in 15 months. The man snorted. Because something went wrong, the elder said in a low voice. The man sat down. He did not look at Chen Shang after he entered, as though there were not many people who were worthy of his notice. He hugged his chest and sat there with his eyes closed. It seemed like he was going to wait here for the sacred sword to be completed. This guy is really strong. He should be from some big power. Just which power is he from? Long Shui asked doubtfully. It should be a sword using power. They can afford to make holy sword material, and they don't take it seriously either. In these 9 days, there are only 2 powers. Bai Yu said. One of them is called Sacred Source Ancient Realm, which is a dangerous place, but in the middle of this dangerous place is a very strong force, and only they can safely enter the deeper parts of it. The other is the Heaven Sword City. Su Meiyao continued to speak. Heaven Sword City is atop a huge mountain peak, and that enormous mountain is very strange. On top of the mountain is a huge city, and it looks like a giant mushroom, but it hasn't fallen down for tens of millions of years. The reason why these 2 forces are able to refine holy swords is because they possess an extremely large amount of materials for artifact forging, especially those of the higher levels. This man should be from the Heaven Sword City. Su Meiyao replied. Senior sister and I have been to the Heaven Sword City before, and the people there are very strong. Furthermore, we have a lot of precious refining materials to sell. Chen Shang sized up the man once again. He did not look very handsome, but he was still passable, and had a very arrogant temperament. Elder Wan, who's looking for me? Lu Munger walked out. She was wearing a black suit with a ponytail. It's me. Chen Shang stood up and then sent a sound transmission to Lu Munger, elder sister Munger. Hearing Chen Zhang's sound transmission, Lu Munger immediately knew that the person in front of him was Chen Shang. Just as Lu Munger was about to speak, the man with his eyes closed suddenly opened them and asked, You are Lu Zongyu's daughter? You are. Lu Munger frowned, because the man did not have a good attitude, but Chen Shang felt that it was pretty good that he could open his eyes and look at Lu Munger. The man let out a strange cold laugh. Heaven Sword City, Luo Yitao, you should know who I am. You are Luo Yitao. Lu Munger's expression slightly changed. She lightly bit her lips, then said to Chen Shang, You're looking for me for something. Follow me. Luo Yitao saw that Lu Munger did not pay any attention to him, and was immediately unhappy in his heart. Could it be that you're leaving like that? You should know that I'm going to come here to customize the holy sword. Why don't you come and find me? Lu Munger was furious in her heart, but she maintained her composure and did not express it out loud. I'm learning to forge swords here. I don't have much time left. Chen Shang was also very unhappy. Why did he need Lu Munger to go and find him? HMPH. Luo Yitao stood up, and said somewhat angrily, You mean, why should I go and find you? I think we should forget about this marriage. I, Luo Yitao, am not fortunate enough to be a woman like you who thinks herself to be high and mighty. Lu Munger took a deep breath, suppressed the anger in his heart and said, Don't worry, even if you didn't say it, I wouldn't have married you. Chen Shang had long since been secretly engaged to her parents, but this was the first time he had ever seen Luo Yitao. At first, I didn't plan to take you, but since you said it like that, I must make you marry me. Let's see what abilities you have to get rid of the marriage that we've already set up. Luo Yitao's face revealed a teasing smile. Chen Shang secretly clenched his fists. If not for Lu Munger holding onto his wrist tightly, he might have already pulled out the green dragon demon slain broadsword and fought with his life on the line. I never lacked women. If you had a better attitude and begged for mercy, I might have let you go and annulled the engagement. But now, humph, you're betrothed to me. In any case, you can still be considered to be a pretty decent woman. You are qualified to enter our Luo family. Luo Yitao smiled sinisterly. Elder sister Munger, I will go chop him off. Chen Shang whispered to Lu Munger. Calm down. Lu Munger no longer talked with Luo Yitao and dragged him out of the living room. Sis, why are you so angry? Who dares to provoke you? When Shui Shenxian saw Lu Munger dragging a man in, she was completely furious. Although Lu Munger was her master, but right now, they were both calling each other sisters. This guy is teasing you, I'll deal with him. Shui Shenxian frowned as he stared at Chen Shang. Seeing her furious expression, Chen Shang even suspected that the Shui Shenxian in front of him was his wife from a little fairy, who was actually emitting such a strong killing intent. It's not him, it's that Luo Yitao. Lu Meng'er threw Chen Shang onto a chair. This fellow is your hubby. Seeing that Chen Shang had changed back to his original appearance, Shui Shenxian immediately guessed what had happened. She knew about Luo Yitao's situation and that they had met earlier than usual, which was also why Lu Meng'er was so worried. That guy is really arrogant. Why didn't he let me teach him a lesson? Chen Shang said. He's the immortal monarch. Can you beat him? Moreover, his father, grandpa and grandpas are all famous people. Lu Meng'er scoffed. I can't win, but I can still smack him and rub his spirit with his palm. So what if the person behind him is powerful? Is Prince Imperial Dragon's father not powerful? I killed him, Chen Shang said in disdain. But this isn't the way to solve it. I have to think about my parents, they were engaged to me that year, so I can't kill him just because I don't want to marry him. Lu Meng'er said helplessly, I already have a plan. When it's about time, I will leave my parents with Shenxian. Shui Shenxian sighed lightly. I've long heard that Luo Yitao is very arrogant, but I never thought that he would be so angry when you two met. Lu Meng'er said everything that Luo Yitao had said, and after he finished, he became even more angry. Let's not talk about this anymore. Little scoundrel, why have you come to find us? Lu Meng'er asked. If you had come a few days late, we wouldn't be here anymore. You guys are going back to the Human King Immortal country? Chen Shang asked. I'm just here to chat with you all. I'm planning to go to a place. Are you taking a risk? Shui Shenxian leaned into Chen Zhang's embrace and laughed softly. We are also preparing to go risk our lives and follow elder sister Meng'er's parents to Longtian. Longtian, that was also the place Chen Shang was going. How could it be such a coincidence? He immediately guessed that the Xie clan members leaving in a hurry was probably also going to Longtian. Chapter 1422. Why do you want to go to Longtian? Chen Shang was preparing to go to Longtian for the evil emperor. My parents said that they were invited, but we don't know who it is. There will be a lot of people going, and Imperial Dragon Clan will also go. Lu Meng'er said, are you going to Longtian as well? Chen Shang nodded his head, but I don't know who exactly invited your parents and why you guys are going there. Then what's the purpose of you, Longtian? We're going to look for the refining materials. Longtian has a place with a lot of them. Shui Shenxian asked. The heavenly evil sword guided me there. I don't know the specifics, so I wanted to take a look. Chen Shang replied truthfully. Heavenly evil sword. Lu Meng'er and Shui Shenxian were both a little surprised. They looked at each other, puzzled. Yes, there should be something left behind by the evil emperor at that place. Chen Shang sent sound transmissions to them, and his tone was very serious. I wonder if it was from the same place that invited my parents to Longtian. The people who came from the sacred source ancient realm, are spread throughout the 9 heavens, and they were mainly searching for various kinds of refining materials. They found a place in Longtian's more dangerous location, and there is a high chance that there are a large amount of refining materials there. They seem to have invited quite a few people as well. In short, my father and mother said that there wouldn't be any danger there, which was why they brought Shenxian and I along. Lu Meng'er said. In other words, they're not in the same place. Chen Shang muttered to himself. Hopefully, it's not a good thing to be in the same place. Lu Meng'er said. Exactly, in the same place, the good stuff will definitely be taken away by you. Shui Shenxian laughed. I have obtained good materials for refining, but I'm not giving them to you yet. Last time, Chen Shang entrusted Hua Shangyu to bring Lu Meng'er and the others a lot of refining materials, they were all gathered by him. Chen Shang laughed. I'm leaving, can you let me hug you guys? No, Lu Meng'er's jade face slightly flushed. Looking at how Chen Shang opened his arms, he seemed to want to hug them at the same time. Although she said it like that, Chen Shang had already embraced them all with a laugh, causing the 2 girls to pout non-stop and lightly beat Chen Zhang's chest. How about I stay here for the night? Chen Shang laughed sinisterly. No, Shui Shenxian spat with a red face. She knew what Chen Shang was thinking. Hurry up, this is still Divine Sword Palace's place. Lu Meng'er's jade face flushed red as she urged him. Chen Shang laughed. It's not convenient here, if there's a chance in the future. Before he finished speaking, Chen Shang was blasted out of the hall by Shui Shenxian and Lu Meng'er. Chen Shang left their residence and walked out of the Divine Sword Palace by himself. The somewhat disappointed Chen Shang walked out of the Divine Sword Palace. The moment he walked out, a few people suddenly surrounded him. Their strengths were not weak, they were all in the late period of human immortal. It was obviously easy for Chen Shang to get rid of them, but he wanted to see who exactly had caught him. After entering the luxurious carriage, Chen Shang saw a handsome youth seated on a luxurious chair. This man was Luo Yitao, who had an engagement with Lu Meng'er. "What do you want to talk to Lu Meng'er about? Quickly say it." Luo Yitao bellowed. His face was extremely serious, and it could be seen that he cared a lot about Lu Meng'er, although he had said those words to Lu Meng'er previously. "Your relationship with her isn't ordinary, right? I saw that she was angry and wanted to hit me, HMPH. Although Luo Yitao was arrogant, she was not an idiot. Previously, when she had angered Lu Meng'er in the living room, she had felt an even greater rage coming from his body. It was just that Chen Shang had concealed it extremely well, but he had still been able to see through it. "You want to know?" Chen Shang asked coldly. "Oh, looks like you're quite amazing. Don't tell me you want to resist me here." Luo Yitao laughed coldly. "Quickly, tell me, what is your relationship with Lu Meng'er? Why are you sneaking around to find her? Ask your ancestor." Chen Shang roared out, his body trembling. He released a powerful shockwave, causing the late period of human immortal beside him to scream out in pain, and fly out of the carriage. "Bastard, it's not like I've offended you. Why did you grab me when you had nothing to do, and you still want to torture me?" Chen Shang shouted angrily. He had already disappeared, and suddenly appeared in front of Luo Yitao. Luo Yitao was still firmly seated on that luxurious chair, a cold smile plastered all over his face. He was not surprised at all, as if he had predicted that Chen Shang would have such a reaction. Chen Shang raised his palm and slapped it fiercely towards Luo Yitao. Luo Yitao snorted, and a very strong qi barrier appeared on his body. When Chen Zhang's palm landed on the qi barrier, the angry and violent power instantly disappeared without a trace, as it was completely absorbed by the qi barrier. HMPH, at most, you only have the strength of late period of human immortal. Even if you are a mortal monarch, you still won't be able to shake my defense. I am half a step into the immortal king realm, you are just a relatively rough little thing. Luo Yitao's face was filled with disdain. He had extremely strong armor, adding on that he was from a famous clan. His talent was outstanding, he cultivated in all kinds of powerful cultivation techniques, and when he saw that Chen Zhang's palm attack could not harm him, he looked down on Chen Shang even more. The carriage had already been destroyed, and the bystanders were all shocked to see someone attacking in the street, especially at the entrance of Divine Sword Palace. "I'll give you one more chance. If you still don't answer me, I'll break your arms, take off all your clothes, and hang them on my carriage as I circle around Divine Sword Palace 10 times. Luo Yitao's face turned gloomy. He was not afraid of Divine Sword Palace at all. Chen Shang took a deep breath, and raged in his heart. "Little naughty dragon, lend me your strength, I will strangle this bastard to death." After Long Shui felt Chen Zhang's anger, he had already mentally prepared himself and she had been waiting this whole time. Both Lu Meng'er and Shui Shenxian could hear that roar from inside. They immediately guessed that Chen Shang must have clashed with someone, and it was very likely that it belonged to Luo Yitao. Lu Meng'er and Shui Shenxian, the elders that followed the Divine Sword Palace, anxiously ran out, and immediately saw the furious Chen Shang standing on the dilapidated carriage, clenching his fists. On the other hand, Luo Yitao was proudly sitting in a luxurious chair, looking at Chen Shang with disdain. "Luo Yitao, what are you doing?" Lu Meng'er was furious. She knew that Chen Shang would not provoke Luo Yitao for no reason. Luo Yitao replied indifferently, "I just want to know why he came to find you. You and I have an engagement, I want to know your every move, but this guy has a tough mouth and bad temper." She had already reached the limit of her endurance and Shui Shenxian was already prepared to take action. Chen Shang had already poured in a large amount of dragon power into his arm, and they were all channeled over by Long Shui. The muscles on his face twitched slightly, and he roared, "Hey Luo, let me tell you, my fists are tougher." After saying that, Chen Shang threw out a punch, but Luo Yitao's face was filled with a cold smile. He did not place this punch in his eyes at all. Chapter 1423. Lu Meng'er and Shui Shenxian both saw that a strong shield had suddenly appeared around Luo Yitao's body. Luo Yitao was much stronger than him, so it would be difficult for Chen Shang to break through his defense, unless he used the divine blade. However, when Chen Zhang's fist came close to him, Luo Yitao's expression suddenly changed, because Chen Zhang's fist suddenly released a very strong force. This force did not seem to be human. As for how it was, Luo Yitao could not explain it clearly, but that was very terrifying. Luo Yitao anxiously dodged, but Chen Zhang's fist suddenly became faster, so fast that Luo Yitao did not expect it. Boom! Chen Zhang's fist was like lightning as it struck Luo Yitao's face. The wave of air that erupted caused the surrounding ground to shake and split open, and the floor tiles were blown up by the wild and violent wind wave, blowing everywhere. Luo Yitao's fist was extremely terrifying. Even some of the immortal king elders in Divine Sword Palace couldn't help but shiver, because Chen Zhang's current cultivation was only at the worldly immortal stage. The furious Chen Shang still wanted to attack, but the elder of the Divine Sword Palace had already come over. HMPH, you with the surname Luo, don't let me meet you again. Chen Shang snorted, then used the spatial teleportation technique and left. If not because she did not want to cause too much trouble for Lu Meng'er, Chen Shang would have killed Luo Yitao with a single slash just now. However, if that happened, not only Lu Meng'er would be in trouble, her parents would probably become enemies with the Luo family. Right now, Lu Meng'er's strength was still too much. Even though he was already a immortal monarch, it was far from enough. Chen Shang and Shui Shenxian had also returned to the Divine Sword Palace. They were very surprised with Chen Zhang's power just now. They never thought that Chen Zhang's body would contain such a terrifying power. Half of his face had already been smashed into smithereens, and blood was constantly being spat out from his mouth. Adding to the fact that his face was twisted by anger, it made him look extremely ferocious and terrifying. Just who was he? Luo Yitao roared in his heart. He was extremely regretful that he did not bring some powerful clan elders with him, if not he would not have suffered such a loss today. Chen Shang returned to the small house, waiting for Duan Ming to return. At this moment, his arm was in pain, and Long Shui's power had increased by a lot, causing him to feel sore after he finished borrowing power. After knowing that something had happened in Divine Sword Palace, Lu Zongyu and Song Ying anxiously rushed over to understand the situation. Because it was Lu Meng'er who had asked them to come, and Heaven Sword City's Luo family had immediately sent people over. Under the treatment of the high-leveled immortal pills, Luo Yitao did not suffer from any major injuries, but he received a huge blow, which even to this day, did not dissipate his anger. Lu Zongyu and Song Ying were both in the Divine Sword Palace's living room, while Lu Meng'er and Shui Shenxian were both standing behind them. Luo Yitao sat together with two elders from the Heaven Sword City. After understanding the situation, Lu Zongyu frowned. We did not send anyone to look for Meng'er, but that person also has our jade tablet. This person wasn't sent by my aunt and uncle. Luo Yitao was rather courteous in front of Lu Zongyu and Song Ying, because Lu Zongyu and Song Ying were both considered descendants of the Divine Artisan clan, thus Lu Meng'er was the same. In the 9 heavens, no one would ever want to offend a Divine Artisan. Even the Divine Sword Palace and the Sword Divine Palace didn't dare to do anything to them. Luo Yitao looked at Lu Meng'er, and said coldly, "Who is that person?" Shui Shenxian snorted. "That's my husband. It's normal that he came to find me, but you captured him for no reason, and even forced him to ask. Anyone would get angry." "Serves you right," Shui Shenxian said in a low voice. Luo Yitao was startled. That person was actually Chen Shang. He scolded in his heart. If he knew that it was Chen Shang, he would not have acted so recklessly with Chen Shang. Even if it's Chen Shang, he beat up members of our Luo family because he's having trouble with our Luo family. If you see your husband, tell him to be careful. He really wanted to draw the enmity between him and Chen Shang. This way, they would have a reason to snatch the green dragon demon slaying broadsword from him. Don't worry, he already said before, let the geniuses of your Luo family not appear in front of him, and don't even need me to tell them their auras. You can be like Imperial Dragon Clan, Devil suppressing Divine Palace and Fire Divine Palace and place bounty everywhere, pasting his portrait all over the street. Your Luo family shouldn't be lacking in spiritual crystal. First, it was Luo Yitao who was in the wrong, but now, it was them who were being courteous to him. "Shenxian," Song Ying called out softly. "They're just looking for an excuse to rob my husband." Shui Shenxian snorted. "This matter shall be settled then. I have no objections to Chen Shang, but don't involve Meng'er and Shenxian," said in a low voice. He was extremely angry at Luo Yitao's power, especially after he heard what Lu Meng'er had to say. Song Ying had already realized that the engagement he had with Lu Meng'er all those years ago was not suitable in his eyes now. Luo Yitao and Lu Meng'er would not have any good results together, the couple could only wait for an early opportunity to tell the Luo family about it. Chen Zhang's arm was originally in pain, but it quickly spread to his entire body. While he was channeling his power to remove the pain, he unknowingly fell asleep. Kid, how did your body become like this? Who injected such a terrifying power into your body? Duan Ming came back and kicked his leg. Chen Shang was lying on the ground, his entire body was in a mess. After he sat up, he sighed. Don't say any more, you went to follow the Xie clan. The Xie clan went to Longtian, and I also heard that many great powers have prepared millions of dragons to go to the same place as us, but their goal is different. Those great powers are going to that place to find some genius treasures, and we are going to find the evil emperor's mausoleum. Duan Ming said. Evil emperor's mausoleum, are you sure that the place the heavenly evil sword is guiding us to is evil emperor's mausoleum? Chen Shang said in surprise. This Duan Ming was a member of the Duan clan, she could be considered a tomb robber's ancestor. This is my intuition. Speaking of it, who injected such a powerful power into your body? This power is very special and strong, I seem to have seen it somewhere before. Duan Ming stroked his beard and thought, then exclaimed, I know. Chen Shang still had some of the power aura that Long Shui had lent him left in his body. When Duan Ming returned, he merely touched it lightly and he could clearly feel it. What do you understand? Chen Shang asked. He did not know what was going on with Long Shui's power, because that was not the dragon power. That power, it is the power of an ancestral dragon, how can you have such a terrifying power? It is said that when the world was nurturing dragons, the fused power was very different from that of the dragon power. Duan Ming said. This was the first time Chen Shang had heard of the power of an ancestral dragon, and he felt more and more that Long Shui had many unspeakable secrets. Chapter 1424, I still can't tell you. Let's go to Longtian now. Chen Shang shakily stood up and swallowed a pill to make himself stronger. Duan Ming laughed. Even if you don't say it, you can probably guess it. I heard that you have the help of a white dragon, I think this should be it. That's right, it's related to that white dragon. Chen Shang said, but I can't say too much. I understand. Then let's set off to take a look at Longtian. Duan Ming laughed. Duan Ming and Chen Shang walked towards the transmission array, and at this time, there were quite a few people who were going to Longtian, so many people had received the news. Inside the transmission array, everyone was waiting for it to open. An old man said, Today, I was outside of Divine Sword Palace and saw the genius young master was beaten to a pulp. Beating him up was truly amazing. However, that fellow from the Heaven Sword City is too foolish. After sitting there and getting beaten up, he thinks that he is unrivaled in this world. Who knew that the other party would be able to beat him up with a single punch? A big fellow answered. I heard that this person is Chen Shang, his wife herself admitted to it. It's really Chen Shang, this guy is actually still here. He should have gone to Longtian by now. This matter is huge, so it must be something important. Haha, he's going straight to Imperial Dragon Clan's lair. Duan Ming now understood why Chen Shang had been given the terrifying power of an ancestral dragon. The transmission array opened, and in the blink of an eye, everyone was inside one of Longtian's immortal palaces. Chen Shang and Duan Ming walked out. Duan Ming looked at Chen Shang and said, Let's find a place to stay first. I heard that Longtian has a lot of delicacies that he doesn't have in other places. Do you want me to treat you to a meal here? Chen Shang laughed. That's for the best. I don't have many spiritual crystal and it would cost 3 million to teleport here. Duan Ming sighed. For an expert like him, it would be strange if he did not have a spiritual crystal. Even though I'm a pill refiner, my pills are very cheap. Moreover, I haven't been refining pills very often, so I'm really short on money. I'll have to trouble Senior Duan. Chen Shang said while grinning. Chen Shang and Duan Ming walked on the street. Inside Longtian Immortal Palace, there were many buildings with dragon sculptures. One could see the portraits of dragons everywhere, dragon sculptures, there are a lot of draconians here, and some of them are strong dragon beasts born from the combination of dragons and other beasts. After they transform, they will also be here, and they will all be controlled by the Imperial Dragon Clan. After tens of thousands of years, the number of draconians will increase, so Longtian's overall strength is very terrifying. Duan Ming said. Chen Shang saw many people on the streets who had a very strong aura of the dragon power, most of them were naturally born with it. What's going on with that ice dragon? Chen Shang sent a sound transmission to Duan Ming and asked him about the ice dragon. The ice dragon was a good friend of the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord and had always been at odds with the Imperial Dragon clan. Back then, when the Imperial Dragon clan killed the White Dragon, the ice dragon lineage had always strongly opposed it. After the White Dragon was exterminated, the Ice Dragon was worried that their Ice Dragon lineage would be the same, so they left the Imperial Dragon clan very early on. Therefore, right now, the Ice Dragon race is very hostile towards the Imperial Dragon clan. I heard that the Ice Dragon race was hidden in a profound realm in the end, and that the current Long family belongs to the Ice Dragon race. After Duan Ming came out, he had also investigated into this matter. Chen Shang now understood why Long Shui had such a good impression of the Ice Dragon. She should also know about these things. The Immortal Palace they were in was called Golden Dragon Immortal Palace, which was considered relatively large in Long Tian's eyes. Furthermore, it was the closest place to the evil emperor's mausoleum. Imperial Dragon clan must be very unhappy right now, because many great powers from the ninth heaven have come to their territory to find treasures, and they can't stop them. Duan Ming laughed. While Chen Shang was on the street, he heard people discussing about this matter. Quite a few major forces had already arrived here, and their lineup was extremely powerful. That sacred source ancient realm is really amazing. He actually knows that Long Tian has a treasure trove. Chen Shang said. The sacred source ancient realm is not simple. They already existed that year, and their main goal was to find treasures for the geniuses. I remember that the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord bought some from them, and they have great talent in exploring treasures for the geniuses. I wonder how they are doing. Duan Ming said. Chen Shang and Duan Ming entered a hotel. Inside, they were eating, waiting for the night to move. Some of the big powers had already left long ago. This aura, Chen Shang looked out of the window, stared at the few people dressed in black robes and frowned. They are the Divine Devil Cult, they have also come. Divine Devil Cult, what is that thing? Duan Ming asked curiously. The reason why their sect leader calls himself the Heavenly Slave is mainly to help the heavens manage the world, and those who join the Divine Devil Cult can cultivate their divine soul through some special liquids they provide. They can also cultivate the demonic way. Chen Shang said. He understood the Divine Devil Cult somewhat, and others did not know that the Divine Devil Cult had something that defied common sense that allowed one to birth divine soul. Through that liquid, Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu developed their divine soul. Back then, the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord could not even think of a good way to produce a batch of divine cultivators. But now, someone has managed to do it. Duan Ming frowned, his expression becoming serious. At night, Chen Shang and Duan Ming left the hotel and walked out of the Golden Dragon Immortal Palace. More than 2 hours later, Chen Shang and Duan Ming passed through a large forest and arrived in a swamp. There's movement ahead. It seems that someone is fighting. Duan Ming said. Let's go take a look. With Duan Ming here, Chen Shang was not afraid of provoking any powerful forces. He followed without worry towards where the fight was going on. Although it was late in the night, the ground was still illuminated by the starlight and moonlight, making the marsh less dark. Furthermore, the deeper they went, the more dangerous it became. This aura seems to belong to the Fire Divine Palace. Chen Shang was surprised. He did not know who had fought with them. After nearing, Chen Shang suddenly heard a very familiar voice. It was Yun Xiaodao shouting, "Old Zhu, quickly poke his eyes." Chen Shang was shocked. He never thought that his group of rogue elders from the Dragon Subduing School would have a conflict with the Fire Divine Palace. No wonder they had so much guts. He guessed that Duan Chong should also be here. They are acquaintances, and 2 of them are descendants of the Duan clan. Chen Shang said, because Duan Sanchang was also here. When they first joined the Dragon Subduing School, there were a few people who clamored about becoming elders. After flying up, they were dishonest in the Human King Immortal country, and were brought away by Duan Chong in the end. Chapter 1425. When Chen Shang and Duan Ming got closer, they saw that Yun Xiaodao and the others were surrounding and attacking the 5 Fire Divine Palaces. You bunch of little bastards, do you know who we are? We are from the Fire Divine Palace, get out of my way. His clothes had already been burnt black by the flames. It's because we know that you are Fire Divine Palace, that's why we took action. The more arrogant you are in front of us, the faster you will die. Zhu Rong sneered, holding a long and big mace, he swept it towards the back of Immortal Monarch, looking very fierce. Amongst the group of Yun Xiaodao and the others, great strength race Xiao Chou was one of them, as well as his Kylan Thunder Eagle Beast was at the middle stage of Immortal Monarch. As for the others, they were only at the early stage of Immortal Monarch, so being able to suppress the 5 of them who were at the middle stage of Immortal Monarch was already considered to be pretty good. These guys are growing up really fast. Chen Shang didn't feel good about this, because he was currently only at the late period of human immortal, but he was still very happy for them. Lian Mingdong sensed that someone was approaching and anxiously shouted, "Be careful, someone is coming. We do not know their strength." Their cooperation was very coordinated and it was obvious that they often did this sort of thing. As soon as Chen Shang and Duan Ming got close, Duan Sanchang immediately came over and checked their strength. "Changzi, it's me." Chen Shang immediately sent a sound transmission to Duan Sanchang, to prevent any misunderstandings and cause a huge fight. "It's actually leader. That's great." Duan Sanchang was overjoyed, and immediately sent a sound transmission to Yun Xiaodao and the others. Chen Shang rushed over and sent a sound transmission to Yun Xiaodao and the others, "Tie them up, I will plot against them." Zhu Rong and the others immediately understood that the Chen Shang who had snuck over, was not discovered by the Fire Divine Palace. In a flash, he arrived behind one of them, took out a Devil Emperor dagger and stabbed it into the Immortal Monarch's dantian, then took out the heavenly pellet. "There's an Immortal King coming, hurry up and kill them." Duan Sanchang anxiously shouted. "Take out all their heavenly pills, I'm going to use them." Chen Shang said. After that Xiao Chou and Teng Ying both attacked the enemy's dantian, and took out the heaven pellet. "It's too late, quick." Duan Sanchang, who was standing guard at the side, also joined the battle. Using a short sword, he cut off the head of a immortal monarch, then took out the heaven core inside. Done. After Chen Shang killed the last immortal monarch and took away the heaven pellet, he and Yun Xiaodao quickly destroyed all the corpses. Withdraw. Duan Sanchang ran at the very front. He had already found a path of retreat for a long time now, with Chen Shang and Duan Ming following right behind them. Yun Xiaodao, Xiao Chou, XB Weilong, Lian Mingdong, Zhu Rong and Duan Sanchang had always been following him, but now he had appeared here. Where was Duan Chang? "Where's Elder Duan? How could he let you guys enter such a dangerous place?" Chen Shang asked as he ran. "He lured those immortal kings away, and was planning on exchanging blows with us earlier. I didn't expect that you would also come here. Is it because you're here looking for materials like us?" Duan Sanchang asked. "No, we will go to a more dangerous place. We might have to go deeper in," Chen Shang said. "This place is called the Evil Dragon Mountain Range, it's very dangerous inside. It's said that some dragons that enter the depths will turn into evil dragons and without the original memories, they will just randomly slaughter others. According to our inquiries, the treasure land discovered by the Holy Origin is not in the depths." Lian Mingdong said. "No problem, I know what I'm doing." Chen Shang said. He was not here for the treasure ground. "Master, I heard that there are a lot of holy level materials in that treasure trove. We are here to find the materials to refine a saint weapon." Xiao Chou said. He still had a bald head and he looked like a teenager. It was difficult for great strength race to grow up. Duan Sanchang suddenly became serious. "The few immortal kings are chasing after us, it seems like old Duan did not lure them away completely." Chen Shang said to Duan Ming, "Senior, I'll be troubling you." "Kill him?" Duan Ming asked. He already knew that this group of youngsters were Chen Zhang's friends when he was in DTN and he could feel the aura of the Duan clan bloodline from Duan Sanchang's body. "As you wish, I can't order you." Chen Shang laughed. Duan Ming suddenly disappeared, followed by a few tragic cries. The screams still reverberated in the marsh, but Duan Ming had already returned with 4 bloodied heaven pills, the Immortal King's heaven pellets. Yun Xiaodao and the others took in a breath of cold air, looking at Duan Ming in fear. To be able to kill a few immortal kings in such a short period of time, this kind of strength was truly terrifying. "I did not kill them, I just took their heaven pills." Duan Ming laughed. They had already stopped. Chen Shang took the heavenly pills, and laughed. "You are feeling worse than killing them." This senior, he was the one who injured Ding Wuzhong in the Immortal Sword Conference. Xiao Chou looked at Duan Ming with a trace of fear. Duan Chang had already returned. He already knew that the immortal kings were killed. When he saw Duan Ming, he couldn't help but frown. Chen Shang laughed. "This senior here has some connections with your Duan clan. He can be considered to be an ancestor of your Duan clan." Duan Ming smiled towards Duan Sanchang and Duan Chang. all of you have inherited the Duan clan's essence very well. Duan Sanchang and Duan Chong immediately bowed to Duan Ming. I brought this group of brats here to let them gain experience. I never would have thought that when I met the people from the Fire Divine Palace, these brats would shout and kill them, so I could only lure their immortal king away to let them take action. Duan Chong said. Hee, just pay attention to a little bit. I believe in their strength. Chen Chong laughed. Suddenly, a rumbling sound echoed out from the depths of the abyss, accompanied by a slight tremble. If we are to go deeper, it will be rather dangerous, so we won't take you with us. Chen Chong looked at the rumbling coming from inside seriously. Duan Ming's expression became serious. He took out a book, and it looked very old. He passed it to Duan Chong and said, "This is an item that is relatively precious to the Duan clan." Duan Chong's hands trembled a little as he received the book, and immediately thanked them. It was as if he had long known that the Duan clan possessed such a powerful book. Then, all of you have a safe journey. Let's return and pluck all the things on those immortal kings and immortal monarch. Yun Xiaodao laughed. Chen Chong smiled and patted his shoulder. Be careful. Oh yeah, I heard that Fire Divine Palace's chief disciple is probably here, he's also very strong. Oh yeah, I heard that Fire Divine Palace's chief disciple is also here. Duan Chong said. Yes, we will pay attention. Duan Ming nodded. He knew how terrifying the Fire Emperor was, even though he had not recovered to its peak yet. Take care. Chen Chong and Duan Ming continued to move forward, while Yun Xiaodao and Duan Chong retreated. They first took away the precious things that the immortal kings and immortal monarch had on them, and a large amount of those things could be exchanged for spiritual crystal S. Chapter 1426. The Fire Emperor is here as well. Is he here for the evil emperor's tomb? Chen Chong was a little worried. If the Fire Emperor came, Duan Ming would find it difficult. I'm not sure. If he knew that the evil emperor's tomb was here, it should have been told to him by the Xie clan, only by obtaining the heavenly evil sword, and maybe the Xie clan was worried that they would lose control at that time, so they had no choice but to inform the Fire Emperor about this. Within the 9 days of time, there aren't many things that the Fire Emperor would be interested in. Duan Ming's face was gloomy. Facing against Fire Emperor, his strength was still too weak. I heard that Fire Emperor's strength has not been restored to its peak, and this is true for Ice Emperor as well. Otherwise, he would not have been so easily killed by me. Chen Chong said. Ice Emperor was killed by you. Duan Ming had heard of this matter before, but he refused to believe it. This was because in the past 10 days, Great Yan Jing had been unable to completely exterminate the Ice Emperor. Chen Chong nodded. In DTN, I used my God Eclipse Powder S to do it. No wonder. Back then, the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord said that in order to completely destroy their Emperor-level strength's bodies, one must rely on this kind of thing. I never thought that you would have a God Eclipse Powder. If it was just Chen Chong killing the Ice Emperor with his own power, then it would be hard to believe, but using God Eclipse Powder would be different. 3 days passed and Chen Chong arrived at a forest. Here, all the leaves of the large trees had fallen, but the reason was unknown. The explosion that they had heard earlier was coming from nearby and getting closer and closer. However, they did not see anything abnormal. There's a small immortal palace up ahead. Long Shui suddenly said. Duan Ming seemed to have also discovered that they were already deep inside Evil Dragon Valley, but they did not give off a sense of danger, but when Chen Chong saw the little fairy palace, he immediately felt a suffocating fear. The immortal palace looked to be the size of a normal city and was surrounded by a thick, pitch-black wall. The thick iron gate was shattered in the middle, as if it had been forcefully broken open by someone. The entire immortal palace was covered in a deathly gray fog. This fog would occasionally churn and emit a woo-woo sound, accompanied by an icy cold aura. This immortal palace wasn't here to begin with. Because of the sudden appearance of this place, the trees in the area withered and died. It seems it hasn't been here for very long, Duan Ming said. He searched his memories, trying to find any memories regarding this immortal palace. Chen Chong took out the heavenly evil sword and looked at the map inside. This was not the place they were heading to. Let's go around it, Chen Chong said. I feel that it's extremely dangerous inside, it's better not to go in. Duan Ming also nodded his head, but just as they were about to go around, a red light suddenly shone out from the huge black iron gate of the immortal palace, and a door plaque appeared. On the signboard, there were a few blood-red words, Evil Divine Palace. Evil Divine Palace. Duan Ming's expression changed greatly, and Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu who were inside the serene jade ring also shouted in shock, "Don't go in. It's actually the evil divine palace, why would he appear here?" Long Shui shouted, "Don't go in. Don't go in," echoed in Chen Zhang's ears. His consciousness had already started to blur, and he didn't know why his feet suddenly moved, as he walked towards evil divine palace. HMPH. The absent-minded Duan Ming snorted coldly. With a shake of his arms, a purple light flashed as he punched the door of the evil divine palace. Rumble. The loud noise shook the earth and cleared Chen Zhang's mind a little. Very strange. Duan Ming grabbed Chen Shang, and walked a few steps to avoid the evil divine palace. What happened just now? Chen Zhang's entire body was drenched in cold sweat, just now he felt as if he was being controlled. You almost entered the evil divine palace. Luckily the door to the evil divine palace was destroyed long ago, so the power of the enticement wasn't that strong, otherwise we would have all lost consciousness and entered that damned place. Duan Ming still had lingering fear in his heart as he grabbed Chen Shang and ran off with a brisk pace. Just what is this evil divine palace thing? Chen Zhang's face was still filled with shock. If not for Duan Ming, he probably would have entered already. I don't know. In the past, 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord went in once, and after coming out, he received heavy injuries. He even went crazy for a while, and later on he told us that we must avoid this evil divine palace for a long time. Duan Ming said. Legend has it that the body of the evil god was sealed inside. Long Shui said. Those who go in and out will become the evil god's slaves, protecting the evil divine palace, and preventing others from destroying the evil god's body. My master told us that the evil god would revive one day and that the appearance of evil divine palace in this place might have something to do with the evil emperor. Su Meiyao said. What is this evil god? Chen Shang said in a low voice. Shish, evil god is not something. He's a god, a very powerful god. Duan Ming anxiously said. If the evil divine palace's divine slaves hear about it, then we will be in trouble. The sacred source ancient realm found a treasure land, and this place also had a evil divine palace. Chen Shang had followed the heavenly evil sword's guidance and arrived here, so there must be a connection. I wonder where the treasure land is. Could it be that this is the place? Wouldn't that be dangerous? Chen Shang suddenly stopped moving. I want to tell my friends, don't let them in here. Yun Xiaodao and the others would be here, and Shenxian and the others would be coming as well. It seemed that they had set off a long time ago. Then let's go back. It might be the sacred source ancient realm's scheme. Duan Ming also felt that something was amiss. He anxiously pulled Chen Shang and ran back, but after running frantically for a while, they still did not manage to leave the desolate forest. Upon closer inspection, it looked like it was filled with dried blood soil, causing Chen Shang to involuntarily shiver. This place. What's going on? Chen Shang looked around and then looked at the sky. It was gray and misty, the clouds churning like demons dancing in the air. Duan Ming spun in a circle, perspiration trickling down his forehead. We have already entered the evil divine palace. It is very likely that we are inside the evil divine palace. Damn it, how did we get in? We obviously went around it. But I can still feel immortal energy. Maybe we just entered an illusory magic array. Chen Shang could not believe that he had entered such a terrifying place. Duan Ming arrived beside a tree and vigorously punched it, releasing a burst of violent purple lightning that smashed the tree into pieces. However, after the tree had been destroyed, it quickly grew back. However, it did not have any leaves, only a bare branch. It seemed to have a tenacious vitality. If it was in a normal space, my punch just now could have caused some cracks in space, but it didn't happen here. Duan Ming said. Continue walking. This is not an illusion. Let's see if anyone is here. Duan Ming brought Chen Shang and continued to run in one direction. 6 hours later, they arrived in a forest with relatively thick trees. Here, the trunk of a withered tree could only be carried by dozens of people. Moreover, it was very tall. Chen Shang and Duan Ming suddenly rushed over, and the crows released sinister voices, flapped their wings and flew up into the sky. It's the evil crows, they are indeed from evil divine palace. Back then, 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord said that he encountered this type of crow before. Look at the eyes of these crows. Duan Ming said. Chen Shang had already seen earlier that these crows had 2 eyeballs in their eyes. One was black and the other was red. Mother CKER, it must be because of the words, evil divine palace, just now. We've already entered. Chen Shang cursed in a low voice, "I'll definitely destroy this lousy place in the future." As Chen Shang said that, the devil-suppressing mirror in the shadows poured devil-suppressing holy power into it and aimed it at the evil crows. It released a ray of holy light and caused the evil crows to fly everywhere, but what surprised Chen Shang was that the defense of these evil crows was extremely strong. After getting hit, they actually did not fall down, and only circled in the air and shouted loudly. Chen Shang kept the devil-suppressing mirror and took a deep breath. He prayed in his heart that Yun Xiaodao and the others would not come in. "Let's go, there should be a lot of people coming in. If we see those walls, we'll be in trouble." Duan Ming signed and said sternly, and took out the divine sword he snatched. After walking for 2 hours through the forest, they suddenly heard a sound. "The terrible news that your sacred source ancient realm released has brought us to this damned place. You've caused us to die. We are also here, this has nothing to do with us, who knows how this evil divine palace came to be." Chen Shang and Duan Ming immediately walked over. "My divine soul can't run around randomly. There's a lot of restrictions on divine power in this place." Long Shui suddenly said, "It's better if you don't use it." She had wanted to see who was up ahead, but when she tried, she felt a splitting headache. Chen Shang and Duan Ming kept the weapons in their hands and advanced forward carefully. The people in front seemed to have noticed them as well. "Who is it?" a middle-aged man asked vigilantly. He took out a big sword and injected it into the innate qi, causing the big sword to gleam. "We mistook this place for our own," Chen Shang said. "This place is really inside the evil divine palace." Therefore, the middle-aged man put away the greatsword in his hand and sighed. "That's right, we are from Sacred Source Ancient Realm. We have already gone to that treasured land, and while we were excavating, this evil divine palace suddenly appeared, and then we came here. We were just passing by and saw this evil divine palace. Then, we planned to go around, but we unknowingly entered." Chen Shang said. "We are from the Heavenly Stone Immortal Palace. I wonder where you two are from?" an old man asked from the other side. They were still very vigilant towards Chen Shang and Duan Ming. "We are rogue cultivators, so we have no ill intentions. At a time like this, we should join hands, even though we haven't encountered any danger yet," Chen Shang said. "If you want to follow us, you can, but don't drag us down," the old man from the Heavenly Stone Immortal Palace said. Duan Ming groaned as he forcefully stomped his foot. The ground trembled and the dozens of trees around him suddenly crumbled, turning into dust. However, those trees quickly grew back. "This level of strength should be enough, right?" Duan Ming, who had been silent all this while, swept his eyes across everyone. The people from the Heavenly Stone Immortal Palace and Sacred Source Ancient Realm were secretly shocked, and did not say any more. "I think many people from other powers will come here. First, we have to find them and gather them together. Everyone, think of a way, our domain lord should be here too." He was an immortal king, and he could already see that Duan Ming's strength was extraordinary, he could easily kill him in an instant. This domain lord was also here, he was a heavyweight, at the same level as the Dragon Emperor. "I heard that the head disciples of the Fire Emperor are here, I wonder if that's true," Chen Shang said in a low voice. Chapter 1427. When the people of the herd Chen Shang say that, they all expressed their doubts. The middle-aged man said, "We have discovered that there are indeed some rare and precious materials in this treasure ground, and there will be a lot of holy level S, so it's not that bad for the head disciple of Fire Emperor to come here, but if the Fire Emperor personally comes here, then it would be very hard to understand." "Then have you invited the Fire Divine Palace over yet?" Chen Shang asked. "No, there are not many powers that were invited by us, but once they heard the news, they would immediately rush over." The middle-aged man shook his head. Now, Chen Shang and Duan Ming were even more certain that the Fire Divine Palace and the Xie clan had allied themselves. Only the tomb of the evil emperor would be of such interest to the Fire Emperor. The immortal king of Sacred Source Ancient Realm was called Yan Shan and was a small clan elder. The person in charge of investigating the treasure grounds was the first batch of people to come to the Sacred Source Ancient Realm. The people of Sacred Source Ancient Realm and Heavenly Rock Immortal Palace had heard of the things regarding the evil Divine Palace. "I heard that entering this evil Divine Palace, there's a high chance of survival," a young man in the crowd said in fear. "That may not be true. The entrance to the evil Divine Palace has already been destroyed by someone, so the evil Divine Palace is not as scary as it is said to be. He has already suffered severe injuries, so we still have a chance to leave," Yan Shan said loudly. In a dangerous situation, the most frightening thing was to lose the courage to survive. Yan Shan's words encouraged those youths to not despair. Sacred Source Ancient Realm and Heavenly Rock Immortal Palace had a total of more than 100 people, their overall strength was extremely strong, and they were all small teams, not a large one at all. Each team was led by an immortal king and 3 immortal monarchs. The others were in the intermediate stage of the worldly immortal stage, with Chen Shang and Chen Shang following behind them. Sacred Source Ancient Realm had the ability to look at the terrain, so to go in that direction was something they had decided upon. Chen Shang and Duan Ming didn't have any direction in this place, and didn't know where to go either. After the group had walked for 2 hours through the withered forest, they suddenly felt a slight tremble beneath their feet. A wave of rumbling sounds came from the front, as if an army of thousands of men and horses was charging over. Chen Shang swallowed his saliva. Although he did not know what was happening in front of him, from the chi and sounds, he could see that there was a large group of things running towards him. "There's someone here. Quick, take a look." Chen Shang immediately jumped up. Looking ahead, he saw over 100 people rushing towards them. "Isn't that He Feng?" Chen Shang saw the familiar face. He Feng had actually come too, and was in a very sorry state. Those are the people of Myriad Dan Immortal Country, Fire Divine Palace and the Devil Suppressing Divine Palace. They are being chased by something. Yan Shan shouted, urging the youths to turn around and run frantically. Things that even Fire Divine Palace and Devil Suppressing Divine Palace could not deal with, they were also very difficult to deal with. Chen Shang and Duan Ming were originally at the back, but now they were running at the front. Chen Shang used the Heaven Tour to allow his soul consciousness to float a little higher. Soon enough, he saw a long black line appear behind him, this line extending endlessly to both sides. From afar, it looked like a black wave charging towards him. It looked like a black sea was raging and turbulent, but it was not. The reason why it had such an illusion was because it was being chased by countless black monsters. They weren't big, but they had a frightening amount of them, forming a sea of beasts that swept towards them in a majestic manner. The forest formed by the giant trees looked very fragile in front of the sea of beasts. Chen Shang withdrew his soul remembrance. In the evil divine palace, it was very difficult to use his divine powers, he had only used them for a short while, but he already felt that he was being corroded by some kind of power. "Can they fly? That group of things is getting faster and faster," Chen Shang said to Yan Shan who was behind him. "Try it," Yan Shan said. "It's more difficult to fly, and I can't guarantee that I won't be attacked. It's better to just obediently run on the ground." Chen Shang jumped and controlled the powerful innate qi in his body, lifting him up as he flew quickly in the air. Not long after he started flying, Duan Ming followed closely behind because it was simply too dangerous on the ground, and his and Chen Zhang's speed was extremely fast. Seeing that they were not in any danger, Yan Shan also brought his people and flew behind them, but it was very taxing on their innate qi, as those late period of human immortals did not have as much endurance as they did. "There are some in front as well." Chen Shang also saw the same scene from the front. A large group of beasts had also attacked from the back as they were attacked from the front and back as well. Duan Ming frowned. "There are a lot of them, even if we try to escape to the sides, I'm afraid it will be difficult to reach the end. How did all these things appear? Could it be that they were purposely used to deal with us?" "Prepare to fight." When Yan Shan saw the beast wave in front of him, his expression changed and he shouted. Chen Shang had already made preparations to fight, so he said, "Try to be near me as much as possible." The two waves of beasts suddenly collided, and that collision caused many black monsters to die. They were badly mutilated, and a long mark was left on the ground, like a long, pitch-black river. These monsters were indeed coming towards them. These monsters were all similar to beasts, such as tiger, lion, leopard, rhinoceros, etc. However, their bodies were pitch black, and some had 2 heads, 3 heads, and even 5 or 6 heads. Some of them were covered with spikes. At this time, Chen Shang and the others were floating in the sky, and below them was what seemed like an endless ocean. "He's charging up," Yan Shan shouted. "Some of these things are strong and some are weak. Some of them even have poison in them." The people of Devil Suppressing Divine Palace, Fire Divine Palace and Myriad Dan Immortal Country were already fighting in the sea of beasts. Chen Shang felt countless monsters jumping up from below him. When he looked down, he could see a mouth full of sharp teeth. "Kill." Chen Zhang's body trembled slightly, and a great amount of fire attribute innate qi surged out from the sky pill. He pressed his palm to the ground, and a terrifying heat suddenly exploded forth, forming a gigantic fire palm that pressed down like a mountain. Boom! The fire palm landed on the ground, and the monsters below started to howl. The moment the palm hit the ground, it exploded, and waves of fire surged out in all directions, engulfing the monsters. In just an instant, the 300 meters of ground had been cleared by Chen Shang, but not long after, it was once again filled up by numerous monsters. Mother CKER, can't we kill them all? Chen Shang looked at the vast sea of beasts, and felt a sense of helplessness. We can kill them all, Duan Ming said lightly. Chapter 1428. Duan Ming fiercely crashed onto the ground, looking like a 1,000,000-kilogram object falling, with a strong impact force. The moment his feet landed, he released the extremely strong innate qi in his body, which created a huge shockwave. The shockwave was like a circular wave, rippling out in all directions. Wherever it went, the monsters were turned to dust. When Yan Shan and the others saw this, they were shocked by Duan Ming's strength. At least, they couldn't do it. With just that one move, Duan Ming cleared an area of 30,000 meters around him. Furthermore, that shockwave was still spreading out in all directions, but wasn't harming any humans. This was the power of A. Just give it your all. Don't worry too much about it at a time like this. If we don't get rid of this group of things, it'll be hard for us to get somewhere else. Duan Ming sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang, signaling for him to fully display his power. As Duan Ming spoke, he waved his hand towards the monsters, releasing a gust of astral wind with purple lightning. This gust of wind covered a very wide area, the purple light made the gray sky turn purple, and wherever the purple lightning blew past, it would turn the monsters there into ashes. I know, Chen Shang nodded and flew into the sea of beasts. The people of Fire Divine Palace and Devil Suppressing Divine Palace all noticed Duan Ming. They were very familiar with the purple lightning that Duan Ming was using because they had seen it before when Duan Ming had attacked inside the Night Devil Hell. Facing these monsters filled with evil qi, the devil-suppressing holy power in Chen Zhang's body had a strong killing power. He released the devil-suppressing holy power and it surrounded his body, forming a qi shield around him. Holy Devil Suppressing Seal. Chen Shang released the Holy Devil Suppressing Seal that had fused with his body. As he continuously injected the devil-suppressing holy power, the holy seal became bigger and bigger, floating in the air, like a huge palace. The word, subdue, below the holy seal and the holy light that radiated from it were causing the bodies of the monsters to slowly melt. Holy Devil Suppressing Seal, he is Chen Shang. Although he was an elder of the devil-suppressing divine palace, this was still the first time he had seen the holy seal of the devil-suppressing heavenly venerable. The might released by the holy devil-suppressing seal was intimidating. The gigantic holy seal was like a heavenly sky as it emitted a holy light, which seemed to possess a terrifying power. Chen Shang flew above the holy devil-suppressing seal and stood on top of it. There was a devil-suppressing blood in his body, which could let his body of heavenly sage's physical strength fuse with the holy devil-suppressing seal, causing the holy devil-suppressing seal to grow bigger and bigger. This was the first time Chen Shang had used his limit of power for the holy devil-suppressing seal. The power contained within was so terrifying that even Chen Shang was awed by it, but he could only unleash a tiny bit of the holy devil-suppressing seal's power now. Subdue. Chen Zhang's voice carried an incomparably solemn and sacred aura as he stepped on the holy devil-suppressing seal and suppressed it. Jump up. Everyone knew that the holy devil-suppressing seal being suppressed was definitely very terrifying, so they all jumped up. If one looked carefully, they would discover that these dents formed a gigantic character called Zhen, and within these dents were countless small spirit grain. As the holy seal got closer and closer to the ground, a holy light gradually appeared on the small spirit grain. The speed at which the holy devil-suppressing seal was pressing down was extremely slow, and in the middle, a golden shadow appeared, looking like a town, formed from golden light. As the golden light fell onto the ground, the gigantic town on the ground shone with a piercing golden light. Boom! When the huge seal landed on the ground, it was as though it was ripping apart the earth and ruining the heavens. Just the powerful shockwave itself was extremely terrifying, not to mention the devil-suppressing holy power that erupted from the shockwave. After the holy devil-suppressing seal fell to the ground, the terrifying devil-suppressing holy power that was brewing inside turned into a halo of light that quickly spread out in all directions. The holy devil-suppressing seal gradually shrank, finally turning into a ray of holy light and entering Chen Zhang's body. Chen Zhang's innate qi only had 10% of it left. Seeing Chen Shang using all his strength, Duan Ming immediately came to his side. The devil-suppressing holy power was still spreading out like a violent wave, sweeping through the sea of beasts. In the blink of an eye, a large area of space had been cleared away. Everyone was in the air and watched as the golden devil suppressing holy power spread out and quickly killed the monsters, allowing them to heave a sigh of relief because they could still feel the aura of the devil suppressing holy power coming from afar. At this time, Yan Shan already knew that it was Chen Shang. They were very clear about the feud between Chen Shang and Devil Suppressing Divine Palace, and that Devil Suppressing Divine Palace, Fire Divine Palace and Myriad Dan Immortal Country were currently here. In order to prevent conflict, Yan Shan immediately brought people to Chen Zhang's side. Chen Shang had the godly weapon and sacred weapon to behead demons, and the devil-suppressing holy power was so terrifying that even many elders of the devil-suppressing divine palace felt guilty about it. In the evil divine palace, they really needed its power. Chen Shang, we meet again. He Feng walked over with a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. The immortal kings of devil-suppressing divine palace and devil-suppressing divine palace were also in an aggressive mood. The path of enemies is narrow, but I must thank you because I sold you the immortal sword for a good price last time. Chen Shang laughed as he swallowed a few pills to help him recover his innate qi. Seeing that the old man from the devil-suppressing divine palace was about to speak, Chen Shang immediately said, "If you want me to return the holy devil-suppressing seal, then that's fine, this is definitely an impossible task. If you want to take it back, then come and snatch it, no need to speak so much false nonsense. Everyone, give my sacred source ancient realm face. Let's give it up at this moment today. Your grudges and grievances should be discussed after we leave this evil divine palace. Moreover, you may not be their match." Yan Shan stood in front of Chen Shang, and it was possible to tell who he was standing on. Duan Ming took out the divine sword that he had snatched and said coldly, "I will shout 10 times, you are still in my line of sight, I will definitely tear you into 1,000 pieces and destroy your souls." Seeing the divine sword, hearing Duan Ming's words, there were a few elders from Fire Divine Palace who ran off into the distance. He Feng regained his senses and immediately started running as well, feeling extremely terrified. HMPH. With just this bit of ability, you think you can rob people everywhere. Why didn't they rob my divine sword? Isn't it all because I'm more powerful? Bullying the weak and afraid of the strong. Duan Ming snorted, and kept his sword. If Chen Shang was not here, they would have suffered a lot. Furthermore, Duan Ming was a mysterious rancor with a divine sword in his hand, it would be safer if he was with them. You could have killed them. Chen Shang laughed. How boring. When you have my strength, you will know how boring it is to kill this sort of thing. Besides, this is a grudge between you and them. You can settle it yourself. Duan Ming said. This was originally a withered forest, but after the great battle, the huge trees had already disappeared, leaving an empty area. Just as they were discussing what to do next, those leafless boulders suddenly appeared from the ground and began to grow rapidly. In just a short time, the forest appeared again and countless giant trees were reborn, which made everyone shudder in fear. Although these trees are withered, we can still see which direction is dense with branches. Let's head in that direction. Yan Shan said. Whatever. We don't know where to go anyway, so it's a good thing to have a vague direction. Chen Shang said. Everyone continued on their way. Even though they had encountered the terrifying beast tide, they had still survived that ordeal. Just how were those monsters formed? They were formed from flesh, and their blood was black, Chen Shang said. There must be some kind of power creating this monster. The night was very quiet and cold, although there were thick clouds in the sky, but the moonlight was dim. It was strange and dark red in color. Late at night, everyone rested for 6 hours before continuing on their journey. They were still in the withered forest. They were still huge trees, but in the dead of night, there would occasionally be a gust of cold wind blowing by, causing the branches to shake and making a sound that would make people's hair stand on end. Ah, yeah, the cries suddenly rang out in front of them. They were still in the middle of the night, and people couldn't help but shiver in fear. The originally silent forest suddenly became lively. It's the evil crows. Let's go and see, this thing isn't strong, there's nothing to be afraid of. He had met Duan Ming before. With Chen Shang and Duan Ming taking the lead, no one had anything to be afraid of. As they approached, they suddenly heard someone's voice. These crows are so seeking annoying. They have been following us all day, and we haven't died yet. Tonight, I will chop them all into pieces. The one who spoke was a woman, and her voice carried incomparable rage. When Chen Shang heard this voice, his heart immediately trembled, because this was Leng Yulin's voice. He really hoped for Leng Yulin and the others to enter the evil divine palace, but she still came. Leng Yulin had followed Long Huishan here, so it could be said that Long Huishan was also here. It's an orchid, Chen Shang sighed. It's your white-haired recognized sister. Duan Ming asked. Chen Shang nodded his head. I didn't expect her to also come in, this isn't a good thing. He quickened his pace, and ran towards the direction of the crow's cry, with Duan Ming and the others following closely behind. In front of him, there was a dozen or so people leaning on a big tree, looking like they were resting, while Leng Yulin brandished the big sword in his hands, jumping around the tree and chopping down the evil crows. But the interesting thing was, the evil crows seemed to be purposefully provoking Leng Yulin, and after being attacked, they did not fly far, and continued to stand on top of the tree branches, waiting for Leng Yulin to attack them. Chapter 1429. Long Huishan and the others had long noticed Chen Shang and the others coming over. Seeing Yan Shan, they were not that nervous, because they recognized him when he invited them over. And what Long Huishan could not believe was that the person who was flying over was actually Chen Shang. Yulin, your brother is here. Long Huishan immediately said to Leng Yulin, and then walked towards Chen Shang. Where? Leng Yulin was very happy that Chen Shang would appear here. She did not feel surprised, as if she was already used to it. Stinking brat, why did you come into this damn place? When Long Huishan saw that Chen Shang was uninjured and was together with the sacred source ancient realm, she was a lot more at ease. Aren't you guys here as well? Chen Shang laughed, then looked towards Leng Yulin who was walking over. She tied up that white hair, wearing a bamboo hat on her head. Haha, brother, you also entered the evil divine palace. I heard that once you entered this damned place, you would most likely die. Leng Yulin laughed as she walked towards Chen Shang with big steps while carrying a heavy river on her shoulder and patted Chen Zhang's shoulder. Chen Shang pinched her beautiful face and laughed. Stupid girl, you're about to die yet you're still so happy. You seem to be stronger and stronger. Of course, I've learned a lot from elder sister, so I'm here to have a fight. Leng Yulin said excitedly, as he had already taken his stance. Long Huishan smacked her perky bottom and scolded her. At such a time, why are you still fighting with your own people? You need to conserve your strength to deal with such a dangerous situation. Dragon Queen, I am truly sorry for causing you all to fall into such a predicament. Yan Shan walked over and said guiltily. He did not think that Chen Shang and Long Huishan's relationship was so close, it looked like they were relatives. It's fine, no one would have expected that. We are already very grateful that you all were able to invite us to excavate that precious land. Long Huishan laughed, he did not have any intention to blame sacred source ancient realm. There's strength in numbers, let's find a way out together. Yan Shan said. Long Huishan nodded his head. We have been traveling continuously for a few days, let's rest first. Following that, everyone stopped to rest while Chen Shang went to the side. Brother, I have another sister. When can I meet her? I wonder if she's powerful or not. Leng Yulin sat on the ground, with his back facing the big tree. He grabbed a few stones from the ground and threw them towards the crows that were cawing in the air. She's very powerful. In the future, let Big Sis take you to the hundreds of flowers immortal country and you will be able to see her. Chen Shang was the same as Leng Yulin, using a stone to smash those demonic crows. Yulan, do you want the sacred sword? I have a heavenly evil sword here. Chen Shang took out the heavenly evil sword and handed it over to Leng Yulin. Leng Yulin took it, waved it a few times, and then gave it back to Chen Shang. She snorted. Too light, too small, doesn't seem to have any killing intent, it's not suitable for me to use. She took out her large sword that was as big as her palm. It was a middle-grade immortal equipment and looked extremely heavy, almost as tall as a person. The heavy sword and Leng Yulin, this tall and killing intent lady, matched each other well. For so many years, her weapons were made by her and Shenxian. She was Lu Munger's disciple, and also refiner, so most weapons were made by herself, which was why she came here to look for materials to create a powerful sword for herself in the future. I've seen Xiaoling before, luckily I didn't call her here, otherwise she would have been scared. Leng Yulin laughed, little Ling's strength is not bad. I train her specially every day, and her improvement is very obvious. Are you always pestering her? If you let her be your sparring partner, you will bully her. She is your little sister. Chen Shang scolded her as he scratched her nose. Leng Yulin looked at Duan Ming who was standing far away and asked with a low voice. Elder brother, who is this uncle? He looks to be very powerful and I feel that he's in danger. When he looked at me just now, he gave me a huge shock. You should have heard about the matter regarding me at the Immortal Sword Conference, right? Chen Shang asked. Yes. Lang Yulin immediately thought of something, and said in a low voice, so this is the guy who stole the divine sword. Although it was a middle-grade immortal sword, she liked it a lot. Furthermore, it was forged by herself, she was afraid that it would be taken away by Duanming. Chen Shang couldn't help but laugh. Senior Yan, have you invited the people from Hundreds of Flowers Immortal Country over yet? Chen Shang shouted to the nearby Yan Shan. They did, but they didn't say. Yan Shan said, I wonder how many people entered this evil divine palace. Sis, how did you enter the evil divine palace? Chen Shang asked again. Long Huishan sighed. We just saw a dilapidated palace, and then a rotten door appeared. After knowing that it was the evil divine palace, I immediately led my people away, but before I knew it, they were right inside. They and Chen Shang were the same, they entered the room the moment they saw the signboard. Let's wait until daybreak before leaving. Chen Shang said. She leaned against his shoulder and closed her eyes to rest. With Chen Shang by her side, she felt very safe. Chen Shang held onto the heavenly evil sword, and channeled his divine power inside, carefully looking at the map inside. The heavenly evil sword was guiding them to this place, but met the evil divine palace, which made him feel that it was too much of a coincidence. Everyone rested quietly until the sun rose. They were awoken by the sudden sound of a dragon's roar. There was actually a dragon inside. Imperial Dragon Clan's dragon had also entered. Everyone was thinking at the same time. It's very possible that it's the Imperial Dragon Clan. Long Huishan said with a darkened face, our relationship with the Imperial Dragon Clan is not that good, so it's better to avoid them. We don't want to have any conflicts with them in this place. It was not just Long Huishan and the others, Chen Shang did not want to fight with the Imperial Dragon Clan either. However, the direction of the sound came from the direction where the branches were thicker, the direction they had decided to go. We're going that way. Chen Shang explained the reason why they were heading that way. After Long Huishan finished listening, he looked at an old man dressed in white who nodded his head. That old man is a very powerful ice dragon. I wonder how the Long family found the ice dragons that had left the Imperial Dragon Clan. Long Shui whispered to Chen Shang. Let's go on our way. This damn place will change every single day. Yan Shan said. The beast tide that they had encountered earlier had left a shadow in their hearts. There were already 200 people. Their overall strength was not weak. This made everyone less afraid. They set off early in the morning. It was almost noon when the gray clouds in the sky suddenly dispersed. A burst of scorching sunlight suddenly shone down. The clouds all moved away and a blue sky appeared in the sky, but no one could be happy because there were 9 suns in the sky. The clouds all moved away and a blue sky appeared in the sky, but no one could be happy because there were 9 suns in the sky. Chapter 1430. Bloody Sun. Lang Yulin cursed under her breath and threw away the burning bamboo hat on her head. However, her white hair was still undamaged, as Long Shui had said, her hair was extremely tough, even if she had some sharp weapons, it would be difficult to cut it. Chen Shang stroked her long ponytail, removing some of the dust. Those who can't stand it, everyone come and take ice crystal. Long Huishan took out a pile of sparkling and translucent ice crystals. These were all spiritual crystals, but they contained a very rich icy immortal aura. Those who were scorched by the heat took a piece of the meat and absorbed the icy immortal aura on it. They immediately felt much more comfortable and were able to dispel the scorching energy. Brother, can you withstand it? Do you want me to place some of the ice cold innate chi on you to make you feel comfortable? Lang Yulin laughed. Don't look down on me, I've been to hotter places before. Chen Shang laughed, he had been to the core of the earth before, it was indeed a very hot place. The dragon's roar from before only came once before it disappeared, and they did not sense any signs of the dragon's presence along the way. This made them feel that it was very strange, because from the sound, they should be very close to where the accident happened, but this was still a large tree without leaves, and there were no signs of damage to the ground. Don't move, Duan Ming suddenly shouted. Now, everyone knew that he was the ranker who snatched the immortal sword away, although he did not say much, he had a lot of prestige in the crowd. Just as Duan Ming finished shouting, everyone felt a gust of wind that was not too bad, and in the midst of the wind, there was even some white dust. These are ashes. The dragon was burned to ashes. The Long family's mysterious ice dragon said solemnly. That's right. Could it be that the dragon was killed in a single strike? Judging from that dragon roar, it should be quite powerful. No matter what, it is a dragon king, yet it was turned to dust in an instant. Long Huishan looked around warily. This is the evil divine palace. Back then the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord was trapped for more than 1,000 years before coming out. A dragon king being killed in an instant is a very normal thing. Even if it's a dragon that enters the immortal becoming realm, it wouldn't be unusual for it to die here. Everybody be extra careful. Duan Ming said in a serious tone, intentionally or unintentionally looking at the ice dragon. After entering the immortal becoming realm, one would be able to reach the level of a semi-sage expert. They would be able to kill the immortal king with a raise of a hand, but many immortal kings would find it difficult to enter the immortal becoming realm. Some would have stagnated for tens of thousands of years without making any breakthroughs. Just as everyone was thinking about what Duan Ming had said, Leng Yulin suddenly shouted, and looked up at the sky. Leng Yulin pointed to a blazing sun. There were 9 suns in the sky, with different sizes. The one Leng Yulin pointed to was the biggest one, and this sun was actually changing. At this time, the temperature had also become much higher. Everyone stared at the blazing sun that was emitting a red glow. It was no longer circular and was constantly twisting as if it was going to turn into something. The changing sun suddenly exploded with a burst of brilliance, and soon after, a flaming crow appeared. This crow was the same size as the rest of the crows, swooping down. As the crow swooped down, a scorching hot air pressure suddenly enveloped the area, and the large trees suddenly burst into flames. This is a profound Yang fire crow. Long Shui exclaimed. This thing is very strong, and it's something that can evolve into a holy beast. It's the profound Yang fire crow. Everyone be careful, don't get hit by the feather he released. Duan Ming shouted, and then he took out his divine sword, and rushed towards the profound Yang fire crow that was diving down. We can't provoke you, yet you are attacking us. You are courting death. The divine sword in Duan Ming's hand suddenly thrusted out. Like a bolt of purple lightning, it flew straight towards the profound Yang fire crow. The profound Yang fire crow let out a miserable shriek after being hit, causing people to feel an indescribable chill under the scorching sun. I understand, these suns are not real suns. And the closer we get, the bigger these suns become, and the easier it is for us to be attacked. Leng Yulin said. Perhaps every sun is an ancient fire beast. Leng Yulin had the white dragon inheritance, so she knew a lot of things, except that she hid it very well. This profound Yang fire crow is indeed a fire beast from ancient times. Legend has it that there was a chance to become a holy beast, but it suddenly disappeared. I never expected it to be here. The old ice dragon from the Long family said. The profound Yang fire crow was sent flying by Duan Ming's sword, but it remained unscathed and flew towards Duan Ming furiously. Its speed was extremely fast and the flames on its body had already turned blood red. This animal is really hard to deal with. He has lost all sense of reason. Duan Ming held the divine sword and slashed at the berserk profound Yang fire crow. Duan Ming's strength was also very terrifying. He could fight head-on with the profound Yang fire crow, and every time his divine sword struck the profound Yang fire crow, it would release a burst of sparks. The sparks would fall to the ground, like meteorites, leaving a large crater on the ground. The history of the evil divine palace is much older than the era of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. Those who enter this place and are unable to leave, will eventually become the slaves that protect the evil divine palace. The old ice dragon looked at the other 8 sons and said, it seems that if we want to leave this place, we have to face those 8 monsters. As long as we approach them, they will show themselves. Do you need my help? The old ice dragon shouted to Duan Ming. No need, you protect them, don't let them get ambushed. Although this profound Yang fire crow has lost its intelligence, it still has that cunning nature of its. I was almost tricked just now. Duan Ming shouted. Long Huishan frowned. He couldn't go on like this, because Duan Ming's strength was on par with that profound Yang fire crow, and profound Yang fire crow were beasts. They were stronger than humans in many aspects. Elder, is there a way? Long Huishan asked. Let me try and see if I can freeze this thing. The old ice dragon took the opportunity and suddenly roared. Like a dragon's roar, it spat out a ball of white light, and instantly struck the profound Yang fire crow. The profound Yang fire crow was immediately frozen and turned into an ice sculpture, falling down. But just as it was about to land on the ground, the ice suddenly melted, and following that, the profound Yang fire crow let out an angry roar. It flapped its wings, flapping out a few feathers that were burning with red flames. The old ice dragon roared, and its body shook, releasing a burst of extremely terrifying cold chi, forming a huge ice wall in front of it, blocking the Profound Fire Crow's feathers. The Profound Fire Crow was about to carry out a second round of attack, but Duanming had already launched an attack. He waved his sword, releasing a ray of purple lightning that struck forward, and when it got near, it pierced forward even more crazily, but the Profound Fire Crow's body was extremely terrifying, and even with the divine sword, it was difficult to harm him. The Profound Fire Crow once again flew into the air, fighting with Duanming. The old ice dragon also did not try again, because it would only attract angry attacks from the Profound Fire Crow. "This can't go on," Chen Shang said. "Do you have any good ideas?" Long Huishan asked anxiously. She knew that Chen Shang had a lot of tricks up her sleeves, otherwise she would not have obtained the inheritance of the ice dragon. Chen Shang thought for a while, then said, "I have a way to try it. Senior, when you freeze this Profound Fire Crow again, it would be best if it could be frozen for a little longer." "Alright, I hope you have a way to suppress this crazy fire crow." The old ice dragon knew that Chen Shang was different from the others. When he was on his way here, he had already known that Chen Shang, by himself, had defeated the sea beast. He did not ask what Chen Shang wanted to do. "Senior Duan, keep the fire ravens away." Chen Shang shouted, "I have a way to deal with this thing." Duanming activated his strength and fiercely slashed at the flying Profound Fire Crow, producing a burst of brilliant cremation. If it was at night, this would definitely be very beautiful. The Profound Fire Crow was sent flying far away by that sword. The old ice dragon seized the opportunity and released a ball of light filled with dense ice-cold energy, striking towards the Profound Fire Crow. When they saw the old ice dragon make a move, Chen Shang immediately disappeared and used the power of the spatial laws to travel through. No one thought that Chen Shang would actually go over personally. It was extremely dangerous, because once Profound Fire Crow broke the ice, they would attack Chen Shang. Duanming hurried to catch up, but Chen Shang had already reached the bottom of the fall of the Profound Fire Crow. Just as everyone was worried that the Profound Fire Crow would be able to break the ice, Chen Shang suddenly released the divine furnace, controlling it to become larger, allowing it to very accurately catch the Profound Fire Crow. Chen Shang had a divine cauldron, so everyone knew about this. However, since the divine cauldron did not have a lid, their power was greatly reduced. It was extremely difficult to seal the Profound Fire Crow inside it. Just as everyone was disappointed, a lid suddenly appeared on top of the divine cauldron. The moment the lid appeared, the divine furnace began to fiercely shake, emitting a rumbling sound. The flames inside the divine furnace had already broken through the ice, but they were trapped inside the divine furnace and crazily crashed inside. Chen Shang was quite far away from the divine cauldron, but the divine cauldron was still floating in the air and was shaking intensely from the weight of the Profound Fire Crow inside. "This brat actually has the lid of the divine furnace." The old ice dragon sighed. Seeing how powerful Chen Shang was, Lang Yulan laughed. "Who knows, this Profound Fire Crow might be caught by Big Brother. This is a good thing. No matter which power I have enmity with, I will send it over to wherever it is. I might be able to exterminate the clan." They did not expect Chen Zhang's sister to be so fierce. If she really wanted to do this, forget about Chen Zhang's enemies, even the destruction of an immortal palace was a normal thing. Chen Shang had only wanted to give it a try at first. He never thought that the sealing power of the divine furnace would be so strong. He slowly approached the divine cauldron and released his divine power, controlling the runes inside the divine hall to suppress the Profound Fire Crow. "Isn't this the divine cauldron? Why would it be sealed?" Just at this time, Chen Shang heard someone shouting from afar. He was shocked and anxiously walked over, causing the shaking divine furnace to shrink, and Duanming also came over to his side. It was the people from the Imperial Dragon Clan. Chapter 1431. Just a while ago, a dragon had died here, and the people from the Imperial Dragon Clan came here was also something that Chen Shang and the others had expected. With Duanming here, Chen Shang was nothing to be afraid of. Imperial Dragon Clan had also entered the evil divine palace. They had come here with a lot of dragons, around 30 of them. After Chen Shang kept the divine cauldron, he saw a group of benevolent dragons running over, with Dragon Emperor right inside. They saw Chen Shang, and also saw Duanming. Back then, when they were still in Night Devil Hell, Dragon Emperor had witnessed Duanming's strength and knew that Duanming was a very powerful human. However, he was not afraid now, because this time, an old dragon from the Imperial Dragon Clan had followed them here. That old dragon was very strong. Long Shui and Long Huishan immediately sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang, telling him to be careful of that old dragon. A dragon had died here, and Chen Shang and the others were also present. When Dragon Emperor arrived, he immediately thought that Chen Shang and the others had killed it, and became furious. Chen Shang, it's you guys again. Dragon Emperor roared, the golden armor shook, and an angry dragon chi surged out from the cracks in the armor, releasing waves after waves of golden light. So what if it's us? Could it be that this evil divine palace is yours, and doesn't allow us to appear here? Long Huishan and the rest had already rushed to Chen Zhang's side, to prevent conflicts from breaking out, so that they could take action in time. Did you just kill a dragon here? Dragon Emperor asked angrily. No, before we came, that dragon was already dead. Can't you see how gray the ground is? It should be that dragon's ashes. Chen Shang said. But Dragon Emperor did not believe him. The dozens of dragons were filled with righteous indignation, and it seemed like they were going to attack him. This is real. There were originally 9 suns in the sky, and one of the profound Yang Fire Crow turned into that of us. When we came here, we were attacked by the profound Yang Fire Crow, so that dragon of yours should have been killed by the profound Yang Fire Crow. Yan Shan said as he walked out. His sacred source ancient realm was a neutral power, so his words had quite the weight. In the end, the profound Yang Fire Crow was sealed by Chen Zhang's divine cauldron, and all of you saw that divine cauldron just now. The Dragon Emperor and the others thought that Yan Shan's words were not wrong. Their dragon had died a long time ago, but there was an intense battle just now, and there were still remnants of ice energy at the scene. They also discovered that Long Huishan also had a very powerful old ice dragon. The Imperial Dragon Clan's dragon was only slightly weaker than the Dragon Emperor. If one wanted to kill it, there was no need for Duanming and the old ice dragon to join hands and attack it. However, with Chen Shang here, no matter what, they had to get back at him for something. Furthermore, they saw Chen Zhang's divine furnace just now. The divine cauldron had the functions of defense, attack and smithing. This sort of multi-purpose divine equipment was extremely precious. It could even be said to be more precious than Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword S. Maybe the Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword was also refined from this divine cauldron. Then hand over the profound Yang Fire Crow. We need to avenge our fellow countrymen, Dragon Emperor said as he looked at Chen Shang. Why should I give it to you? I finally managed to catch it. Moreover, this profound Yang Fire Crow is so precious, even if you say that you will give it to me, you guys might still be able to tame it. Chen Shang snorted, although he was currently unable to handle the profound Yang Fire Crow, but he would eventually think of a way to unearth the value of the profound Yang Fire Crow. If I don't give it to you, do you want to rob it? Long Huishan laughed coldly. If you have the guts, come at me. I want to see if you have the ability to snatch the profound Yang Fire Crow away. Duanming had already revealed his divine sword. I have no enmity with Imperial Dragon Clan, but if you want to deal with my friends, don't blame me for being rude. Dragon Emperor took a few steps back and came to the side of the old holy dragon. It seemed that they were communicating with each other through sound transmission, but what worried Chen Shang was that the old holy dragon, Dragon Emperor and a few dragons would look at Leng Yulin from time to time. Chen Shang had the help of the White Dragon and also obtained a lot of Dragon Clan's inheritance. This was a matter that everyone knew, but no one knew where the White Dragon was. However, after their investigation, they felt that Leng Yulin was very good, because a long time ago, there was an example of a person with white hair being born after the fusion of a white dragon and a human. Leng Yulin was Chen Zhang's recognized sister. If she had the inheritance of knowledge from the White Dragon Clan, passing it down to Chen Shang was a very normal thing. The White Dragon was the Imperial Dragon Clan's nightmare. Even the humans who possessed White Dragon vein posed a huge threat to them. Chen Shang clenched his fists tightly. He felt that Leng Yulin was already under threat, but he didn't have the absolute strength to fight against the Imperial Dragon Clan. Let's go. After Dragon Emperor and the others left, Chen Shang and the others heaved a sigh of relief. If they were to fight, this battle would definitely be very tragic and fierce. Now that they were still in Evil Divine Palace and danger lurked everywhere, both sides did not want to suffer any losses. Sis, they should be able to see that there's White Dragon vein in Yulin's body now. You should pay more attention in the future, don't let Yulin run around. Chen Shang whispered to Long Huishan. Long Huishan had also detected it just now, so she replied, I understand, looks like I have to make Yulan stronger quickly so that she can be safer. Duan Ming said, this group of emperor dragons are not stupid. They know that fighting here is not good for anyone. Right now, the most important thing is to leave this damned place. Everyone hurried. They said that the direction they were going was closer and closer to the sun, and the sun was formed from an ancient beast, so it was very powerful, and Chen Zhang's divine cauldron could not be opened either, if not the profound Yang fire crow would run out. If I still encounter those powerful ancient beasts, I'll have to fight to the bitter end. Duan Ming had already made his preparations. He was a scattered immortal, and although he was strong, the ancient beasts were existences that could become holy beasts in the ancient era. They were already very strong, so it was not bad that he could fight them evenly. As they were talking, everyone suddenly felt the temperature drop a little bit. They looked up and saw that a sun had disappeared. This situation meant that the sun had turned into an ancient beast and was currently in battle. Who fought with that ancient beast? Is it the Imperial Dragon Clan's group? But they don't seem to be heading in this direction. Long Huishan said. Seems like quite a few powerful forces have entered the evil divine palace. Who knows, maybe everyone who enters the evil dragon mountain range will enter. Yan Shan said. He frowned as he looked at the bright light ahead. That should be the place to fight. Everyone was puzzled. There must have been a huge commotion from the intense battle in front, but it seems so calm now. I seem to have seen that before, Yan Shan muttered. What is it? Chen Shang asked anxiously. That glowing object seems to be a divine tool used by our sacred source ancient realm's domain lords. Its name is the evil suppressing pagoda of the 9 suns, and it was left behind by the ancestor of our sacred source ancient realm. Yan Shan said. Chapter 1432. The sacred source ancient realm also had a long history. Otherwise, they wouldn't have become a very powerful force, and even established a good relationship with many powerful forces. Just when Yan Shan was unsure, a strong golden light flashed from far away. A giant golden pagoda appeared, and pressed down fiercely. It really is the domain lord. This is the 9 yang suppressing evil pagoda. I didn't expect it to force the domain lord to use his strongest power. I wonder what kind of ancient beast he encountered. Yan Shan said. Come, let's go take a look. It seems like that ancient beast isn't easy to deal with either. Let's go and help, said. He was quite excited to meet a strong human warrior. Although the old ice dragon was very strong, it was not a human after all. It was not easy to compare the two. Duan Ming was the fastest. He disappeared in the blink of an eye. The old ice dragon did not leave. He wanted to protect the people here and follow the group. There's someone ahead. Long Huishan saw a group of people walking towards them and immediately stopped. Isn't that Luo Yitao? Long Shui said. This guy recovered so quickly, looks like your punch isn't heavy enough. That day, Chen Zhang's punch had completely disfigured Luo Yitao, and he hated Chen Shang to the core. Brother, this fellow is Luo Yitao, right? Master is already engaged to him. I heard about what happened last time you were outside the Divine Sword Palace. This kind of fellow is asking to be beaten up. I've long heard that he's not a good guy, and he still wants to marry Master. Leng Yulin had always been complaining about this matter, and she had also asked about Luo Yitao's matter. Luo Yitao's cultivation was much higher than Chen Zhang's. He was at the late stage of Immortal Monarch, but he was beaten up by Chen Shang until the ground was covered in teeth. This matter had already turned him into a laughingstock. When he saw Chen Shang from afar, his anger surged, and he rushed over with killing intent. Chen Shang also saw Lu Zongyu and Song Ying. Lu Menger and Shui Shenxian did not stay by their side, causing him to worry. Seeing that Luo Yitao had such a strong killing intent, Yan Shan immediately walked forward and stood in front of Chen Shang. He was not afraid of Luo Yitao. Sacred Source Ancient Realm and Heaven's Sword City both had a large amount of refining materials, but the people of Sacred Source Ancient Realm were much older than him and their strength was also much stronger. Seeing Yan Shan suddenly standing out, Luo Yitao knew that Sacred Source Ancient Realm was protecting Chen Shang. Yan Shan, get out of the way. Luo Yitao roared. Chen Shang, come out and fight with me fair and square. Chen Shang said. I also want to fight him fair and square, but I am only at the late period of human immortal and you are at the late stage of immortal monarch. Brother, I'll go out in your place. I'm already a immortal monarch. If I go out to fight, I'll castrate him and see if he still dares to marry my master. Leng Yulin took out her large sword and stabilized the armor on her body. After Luo Yitao heard this, his anger rose even higher. This was because a woman actually arrogantly said that she wanted to castrate him, and if he didn't take it out on her, how would he meet others in the future? Where's Shenxian and the elder sister Munger? Chen Shang did not care about Luo Yitao, and anxiously asked Lu Zongyu and Song Ying. Song Ying knew that Chen Shang was worried about him and smiled with gratitude. They have met Warm Moon and that foolish girl, so they did not plan to come. Dongfang Xinyue and Dongfang Jing were together, and Chen Shang had also heard of their whereabouts in the hall before, but he didn't receive any news as they had never thought that they would also be here. He really wanted to meet Dongfang Xinyue and Dongfang Jing. It's good that they didn't come. This evil divine palace is very dangerous. Chen Shang let out a light breath. After Leng Yulin, who was shouting about fighting at the side, heard this, he said with a face full of regret, "It's such a pity, I also want to refine equipment with them. I really want to quickly leave this damned place. It's all right. After we get out, we, the Sacred Source Ancient Realm, can provide you with some ingredients to refine." Yan Shan laughed. "Your senior brothers haven't come yet, but they said that they would come here to take a look. I really hope they don't come in," Lu Zongyu said. Luo Yitao, who was ignored by the masses, was enraged to the extreme. He stayed in the Heaven Sword City all day as if he was a star, but here, he did not even have a single route. No one even looked at him directly. "Chen Shang, I was unprepared that day, so I fell for your trick." Luo Yitao shouted in anger. "I remember that you were the one who sat there foolishly and let me beat you up, that's why I had the chance. But if I were to fight face to face right now, I wouldn't be able to beat you, and I wouldn't be able to admit defeat here." Chen Shang didn't have the mood to fight him right now, he needed to preserve his strength to deal with the sudden critical situation inside the evil divine palace. "I can beat him, bro, just let me beat him up." Leng Yulin pleaded. Even though she was very reckless, she was very obedient in front of Chen Shang and did not dare to be rash. Leng Yulin stood at Chen Zhang's back and shouted at Luo Yitao, "Come and fight me, you can't even beat me, so don't even think of defeating my brother, and don't even think of marrying my master." Chen Shang looked at Long Huishan, and Long Huishan nodded to him. Had stayed with her for a period of time, and had received Long Huishan's training for the Draconians, so her potential had been stimulated a lot. "Then she can go. I also want to see how strong she is right now, and how well she's mastered the White Dragon's inheritance." Long Shui said. "With me here, I can guarantee that not a single hair on her head will fall off. She is also my good sister." "Little girl, shut up. Not to mention you, even you siblings along with Lu Munger and his disciple are not my match," Luo Yitao said very arrogantly. "The Dragon Emperor is also here, so if you have the guts, go and chop off his arm. The Dragon Emperor even brought a few small dragons with him, if you have the guts, go and kill an old lady. Forget about the Imperial Dragon Clan, even if it's the Fire Divine Palace and the Devil Suppressing Divine Palace, my brother would still kill a strong immortal king and you could try to kill him. Even if you can kill him, your father, your grandfather, and your grandfather won't be able to protect you. My brother doesn't want to fight with you, because in his eyes, you are just a pile of dog shit. Whoever has nothing better to do will fight with a pile of dog shit." Chen Shang secretly sighed. Leng Yulin's ability to scold had always been valiant, furthermore, she could not do it often, so she could only move her mouth. "You, damn girl, good, you're very strong, aren't you? Fine, I'll defeat you today and let you see my strength. If I lose to a little girl like you, I'll give you the newly forged holy sword." Luo Yitao took out his divine sword, which was crafted by the Divine Sword Palace, of the type that was slim. Leng Yulin naturally looked down on it. But as a refiner, she naturally knew that this divine sword was the most expensive one. Chapter 1433, Bro. Leng Yulin yelled in a spoiled manner. "Go, be careful, also, you must win back his holy sword. Otherwise, don't say that you're my sister from now on." Chen Shang smiled and pinched her face. Leng Yulin immediately said with excitement, "Don't worry, I will definitely teach him a lesson and let him know that he can't accompany elder sister Munger." When she was speaking, Leng Yulin looked at Chen Shang with a gaze that carried a deeper meaning. She already understood the relationship between Lu Munger and Chen Shang. Song Ying and Lu Zongyu helplessly looked at each other, then stood far away. They knew Leng Yulin's personality very well. Leng Yulin had stayed in Human King Immortal country for a period of time, but she never thought that Leng Yulin's strength would increase so fast, to the point he even dared to challenge Luo Yitao. Amongst the people who came with Luo Yitao just now, there were a few elders and youths from Heaven Sword City. Dai Yongcheng from Divine Sword Palace was also here. "HMPH, you only have a middle-grade immortal sword, right?" Doesn't your sworn brother have many powerful weapons? He won't even give you a single one. It seems like he really doesn't care about you. Luo Yitao looked at the big sword in Leng Yulin's hand. Although it looked very domineering, it was only a middle-grade immortal equipment. Don't you know that I am a refiner, a weapon that was forged by refiner himself? Although the sword in my hand is not a high-grade weapon, it was created by me using my own blood and sweat, and in my heart, I feel that it is stronger than any divine weapon. Leng Yulin said sarcastically, from the collection of materials to the production of the cauldron, they were all completed by me alone, and I have never relied on anyone. So what if you have the holy sword, and it was not bestowed to you by the person behind you? What kind of ability is that? Your life is just good, not to mention that you can't bring out the power of the holy sword. In my eyes, you are just slightly stronger than those pieces of metal. You sharp-tongued girl, I'll see if your strength is as strong as your mouth right now. Luo Yitao's entire body was originally filled with rage. He could not win against Leng Yulin in a bickering match, but in terms of strength, he had absolute confidence. Luo Yitao stomped her foot, and fiercely jumped forward. The holy sword in her hand released a cold chi, bringing an extremely strong killing intent. She pierced towards Leng Yulin's neck like lightning. You foppish little b*tch, let's see how long you can be so arrogant for. Seeing Luo Yitao's sharp sword coming towards him, Leng Yulin slapped his hand in disdain, causing the holy sword to emit a buzzing sound. Luo Yitao was of the late stage of Immortal Monarch. Although he was a little arrogant, he and Hefeng were pretty much the same in terms of strength, so when he got serious, he was still very scary. And the power of that sword also proved that Chen Shang could still think about it, but it was very powerful. However, Leng Yulin casually opened it with a palm. Leng Yulin, who usually looked rather crude, did not think that he would be so focused, because the place she had struck just now was just enough to disperse the energy that had condensed on top of the holy sword. From the very beginning, Leng Yulin had been carefully observing the holy sword in Luo Yitao's hand, and had even delved deep into its internal parts to analyze the holy sword's weakness, and had indeed been found by her. After all, she had read that divine book before with Lu Meng'er and Dongfang Xinyue, and there was a large amount of profound formations and refining related things inside. Moreover, she herself had the white dragon inheritance, so digesting those things wasn't too difficult for her. Luo Yitao felt the power on his own holy sword being scattered by a palm. The remaining power was not enough to break Leng Yulin's defense, and he anxiously took a few steps back, just in time to avoid Leng Yulin's heavy sword. If he did not dodge quickly, he might have been struck in the throat. Leng Yulin's sword was very long, almost as tall as her, and she was also wearing armor, making her look more imposing and sturdy. Although that Luo Yitao was as tall as her, when compared to her, he looked somewhat small and small. Haha, I didn't expect you to cultivate the innate chi of ice magic. Leng Yulin laughed. So what? Luo Yitao laughed coldly. Don't think that just because you used your flames that you can suppress my frost innate chi. The cultivation method I cultivate is close to the existence of a divine art. It's a saint-rank cultivation method. So what? My cultivation technique is still ice wind magic kung fu, but I never brag about it with others. Leng Yulin's large sword suddenly trembled, and waves of frost appeared on it. Leng Yulin could cultivate the cold energy of ice and fire at the same time, and she seemed to have reached the stage where she was compatible with ice and fire. Song Ying also understood the ice wind magic kung fu, which was something she had passed on to Lu Meng'er. Don't be complacent. Luo Yitao blamed himself secretly. He did not understand the people around Chen Shang. He never expected Leng Yulin to be so powerful. Leng Yulin took a step forward, but he suddenly disappeared, while the spectators in the distance only felt a gust of cold wind blowing in all directions, and at the place of the battlefield the wind was extremely chaotic. This is the divine wind steps. I didn't expect her to master it so quickly. Song Ying chuckled. Bai Yuyu said. The divine wind steps is a very profound type of stride. It comes from inside the ice wind magic kung fu. When used, it causes a chaotic gust of wind to appear, so no one can catch her movements. Everyone had heard of the ice wind magic kung fu, but the more famous divine wind steps usually required the strength of a late-stage immortal monarch or even an immortal king to master it, because it required a large amount of innate chi and divine sense to be used. However, Leng Yulin could now use it very easily, causing many of the older generation to be amazed. Luo Yitao's forehead was covered in sweat. He obviously knew how powerful the divine wind steps were. He cultivated the ice-cold innate chi and understood the ice wind magic kung fu very well. The reason he wanted to marry Lu Meng'er was also so that he could obtain the ice wind magic Kung Fu. It's here, Long Shui said softly. Suddenly, there was a blizzard, blowing fiercely towards Luo Yitao. In the moment of the blizzard, Leng Yulan had also appeared behind Luo Yitao, and before anyone could see how she appeared, they noticed that the snow on the ground was dyed red, and Leng Yulan's sword had pierced through Luo Yitao's back, going through her body, and blood was dripping from the sword. HMPH, with just this bit of ability, you still have the nerve to act so arrogantly in front of my brother. Leng Yulan quickly snatched away the holy sword in Luo Yitao's hand, then kicked his butt and sent him flying. The snow quickly melted. After all, there were still 7 suns in the sky. However, the group had cooled down a bit just now. How did Leng Yulan appeared, and how did he break through Luo Yitao's defense? With a sword, he pierced through Luo Yitao's body, causing many of the experts spectating at the side to not understand, because all of this was too sudden. Luo Yitao had armor on his body. As the genius young master of Heaven Sword City, his protective armor was definitely strong, but Leng Yulan had effortlessly stabbed through it. It's the power of the ancestral dragon. Dai Yongcheng said softly, and glanced at Chen Shang. Long Shui laughed. Just now, we used a transformation technique on her, turning her into a snowstorm. Those who are enveloped by the snowstorm are equivalent to being locked on by her. As long as she finds that fellow's gap, with a thought, she can immediately appear and attack. Little naughty dragon, don't spout nonsense. I have never done such a wicked thing, but you have always instigated me to do it. Also, you have taught me how to use the transformation techniques. Chen Shang said snappily. Chapter 1434. There were still many elders from the Heaven Sword City here, so Leng Yulan did not try to kill them. Otherwise, there would be a conflict between her and the Heaven Sword City right now. Leng Yulan had only pierced Luo Yitao's body and injected a very strong ice innate qi into his body, freezing the blood in his body, which did not cause him any serious injuries, but Luo Yitao had to at least rest for a good period of time. Right now, he was supported up by the elders and trembled with anger at Chen Shang and Leng Yulan. Luo Yitao and Lu Meng'er had an arranged marriage. He had been extremely arrogant in front of Lu Meng'er previously, but he couldn't even defeat the other party's head disciple, and had even lost to him because of a holy sword. Just thinking about it made him feel that he wouldn't be able to raise his head in front of Lu Meng'er in the future, let alone marry Lu Meng'er. Leng Yulan proudly waved the holy sword in front of Chen Shang, and laughed. Brother, do you want some? I'll give it to you. Keep it for yourself. Chen Shang patted his head and laughed. Dai Yongcheng sighed helplessly. They had forged this holy sword, but not long after it had appeared in Luo Yitao's hands, it had changed masters, causing him to feel extremely moved. I will exchange some holy level materials with Sacred Source Ancient Realm. This sword is too small, I am not happy at all with it. Leng Yulan danced a few times as he curled his lips. Furthermore, he could tell that Leng Yulan had hidden quite a bit of his strength, no wonder she was so confident. Long Huishan seemed to know about it too, which made him feel at ease to let her come out and fight. In the distance, Duan Ming and the Sacred Source Ancient Realm's Domain Lord were battling with an ancient beast. At this moment, the aura coming from that direction was getting weaker and weaker, as though one of the parties was being suppressed by them. Indeed, when everyone saw 2 people walking over from afar, they surprised Chen Shang. He did not expect that the Sacred Source Ancient Realm's Domain Lord would actually be as strong as Duan Ming. In these 9 days, there were still many hidden rankers, but they were not known. Someone had told Chen Shang before. Now that there were only 7 suns in the sky, Chen Shang was very curious about what the ancient beast looked like. It's a wolf, probably a heavenly flame wolf. In ancient times, a meteorite fell into the sacred beast's ancient realm, and there was a wolf inside, namely that heavenly flame wolf. Although it can't be considered bad, it still likes to cause trouble, and in the end it disappeared, never expecting it to become the evil god's servant. Long Shui said. Is it a saint beast? Chen Shang asked. Not really, but if he was a little more obedient, he might have become a saint beast. These are all from your inheritance of memories. Your inheritance of memories is increasing in number. Chen Shang said. Originally, Long Shui did not know these secrets of the ancient times, but now she seemed to know more and more. I have a lot of inherited memories. I'm slowly awakening, Long Shui said. But Chen Shang felt that it was not that simple. He kept having the feeling that Long Shui had a lot of things to hide from him. After the ancient beasts were subdued, other than Luo Yitao, all the others had faces full of joy, waiting for the Domain Lord and Duan Ming to come over. Just as everyone revealed a relaxed smile, the world suddenly shook. Not only did the earth shake, but even the 7 suns in the sky were shaking. It was as if the entire space was shaking. Yulin, hurry over. Long Huishan anxiously grabbed Leng Yulin, because the tremors were getting more intense, and the sky started to turn dark. Chen Shang raised his head to look at the sky, only to see that the space in the sky was slowly collapsing, and the space around him was collapsing. He could already see Leng Yulin and Long Huishan, the space they were in, seemed to be struck by a powerful force, and was split into many parts. What's going on? Chen Shang stood where he was and didn't move because the space around him had started to collapse. He didn't know how to escape this predicament. Be careful, this power seems to be directed at you. Someone is deliberately separating you from the others. Long Shui said. I felt it just now, that the spatial energy around you is more intense. I don't know who could actually use this kind of energy to control the slicing space from afar, and move it. Besides my enemies, who else would target me? Chen Shang snorted, he frowned and tensed up. Not long after, the space he was in gradually stabilized. The tremor had already disappeared, leaving only a slight shake. However, it was dark in all directions. The area you are in is beginning to merge with the other spaces. It seems like the space in the evil divine palace is formed piece by piece and can be moved however you wish. Only by controlling the spatial teleportation formation in the evil divine palace can you do that. Long Shui said. Chen Shang clenched his fists, the area started to be covered in a hazy light, he knew who it was that was attacking him. The surroundings started to become clear, but Chen Shang was suddenly unable to move, the innate qi in his body was simply unable to circulate from his dantian, he was actually sealed by a profound technique in his dantian, and even the divine sense qi in his mind was sealed by an extremely strong god power. The person who could use this technique must be very strong, not weaker than Duan Ming, and he was a divine cultivator. Ha ha, Chen Shang heard a burst of laughter, and it was a lot of people laughing. Following that, a group of people appeared in front of him, and amongst these people, there were quite a few that he had seen before. Fire Divine Palace, Xie Family, Devil Suppressing Divine Palace and Heaven Sword City. Luo Yitao, who had previously fought with him and had also lost to him the Heavenly Evil Sword and the Devil Slayer Holy Sword, was present as well, laughing sinisterly. Chen Shang, you won't be able to escape this time. A handsome man sneered. Looking at his clothes, he looked like he belonged to the Fire Divine Palace, and had a scorching aura around him. He suspected that this person might be the head disciple of the Fire Emperor. He really is a divine cultivator. Fortunately, he was able to suppress his divine sense qi. Otherwise, he might have been able to use some divine powers to escape. An old man said. This was from the Devil Suppressing Divine Palace. An elder from the Xie clan said solemnly, don't be in such a hurry to divide up the things you have on him. We did not capture him for his belongings. That old man from the Xie clan was very strong, probably the kind of old man with the same strength as Duan Ming. Chen Shang could immediately sense that part of the power that imprisoned him came from that old man. There was also a middle-aged man from the Heaven Sword City, the head disciple of the Fire Emperor, and a golden-robed elder from the Devil Suppressing Divine Palace. Chapter 1435. The furious Luo Yitao didn't care about all that. He went over to Chen Shang and punched him hard, but Chen Zhang's body was extremely strong, causing him to feel pain in his fist. Ancestor, why didn't you bring that white-haired girl over as well? Luo Yitao said as he clenched his teeth. He never thought that Chen Zhang's fleshly body would be so terrifying. Bringing this brat over will consume a lot of our energy, and we can't use it a second time. The Sacred Source Ancient Realms Domain Lord and that Duan guy are both there, and if they break us, we will be affected by the backlash. The middle-aged man from the Heaven Sword City said. The muscles on Chen Zhang's face twitched. Luo Yitao actually had the idea of hitting Leng Yulin. He furiously glared, and said in a low voice, Your Heaven Sword City, especially you, Luo Yitao, I will definitely kill you with my own hands. You won't be able to live for long. After using you, I'll force you to hand over some things, then you can die. Luo Yitao sneered. You can either kill me now or I will definitely make you pay a heavy price if you let me escape. Chen Shang coldly looked at the group of people. Don't be stubborn, you don't have the chance to make a comeback right now. The disciple from the Fire Emperor sneered. You should have a decent fire soul on you. At that time, I can enjoy myself. All of you must die. Although he had fallen at the hands of these people, he still had a chance of escaping. This was because these people still wanted to use him to do something that they did not dare to do. They searched all over Chen Zhang's body, but they could not find any storage magic treasure. An old man pinched Chen Zhang's neck, and said angrily, "Take out the heavenly evil sword. If you cooperate, we might not kill you." Although Chen Zhang's divine sense was sealed, he could still use a bit of his power to open the ring, and take out the heavenly evil sword. The heavenly evil sword dropped to the ground and the old man from the Xie clan picked it up and laughed. "This thing will belong to us sooner or later. As long as we open up the Emperor's tomb and obtain his item, our strength will definitely increase by a large amount. The 9 heavens will be ours, haha." Chen Shang looked around. This was a stone room. He never thought that Evil Emperor's tomb would actually be inside Evil Divine Palace. The appearance of Evil Divine Palace must have been caused by the Xie clan, and they had long found the key to entering Evil Emperor. "Yi Dao, take him and lead the way," Luo Yitao replied as he walked to Chen Zhang's side with a face filled with viciousness. At this time, Chen Shang was already tied up by a golden rope and his feet were not tied up. "Hurry up and leave." Luo Yitao hated Chen Shang to the bones. He kicked Chen Shang hard, causing him to fall to the ground. The elder from the Xie clan took the heavenly evil sword and walked to a wall. He placed the heavenly evil sword into a hole in the wall, and suddenly, a sound came from the wall. "Let's go in." Luo Yitao lifted Chen Shang up and threw him into the passage inside the stone door, to see if there were any traps. Chen Shang was furious in his heart, but he could only endure it for now. In front of these strong warriors, he had no way of resisting, much less escaping. "Take out your green dragon demon-slain broadsword. Your blade is needed here," the middle-aged man from the Heaven Sword City coldly said. "It's best if you cooperate. If you don't want your wife to have any big matters in the future." Chen Shang secretly clenched his teeth. He guessed that this person must be the person in charge of the Heaven Sword City, and should be the legendary old city lord without a doubt. But now, he actually used Shui Shenxian to threaten him, which caused him to be extremely furious. He swore that as long as he could escape, he would pay any price to destroy the Heaven Sword City. His wife is not bad. When the time comes, I'll make sure she marries me. Luo Yitao laughed sinisterly. Chen Shang turned her head and shot him a furious glance, then said to the old man, "If you want something, then keep this bastard's foul mouth in mind, or else I'll kill myself and show you, and you won't get anything in the end. Old Luo, tell this brat to be more obedient. If Chen Shang dies, we will die here in the end." The old man from the devil-suppressing divine palace said coldly. "Yi Dao, restrain yourself." The old city lord scolded. The Fire Emperor disciple said to Chen Shang, "Quickly take out the green dragon demon-slain broadsword, stop nagging." Chen Shang said, "If you can help me slap that brat, I will immediately give you the green dragon demon-slain broadsword." Really? Although the disciple of the Fire Emperor asked that, he had already slapped Luo Yitao's face, causing him to fly towards the wall. His hand was lighter, but it only slapped Luo Yitao's face until it was swollen. "You," the old city lord was furious. "Fire Divine Palace Lord, are you saying that you don't exist? He's just a descendant of yours, he almost ruined our plans. If you bring him here for something as big as this, we have the power to teach him a lesson if he makes a mistake." Although they were cooperating, their relationship was not good. Chen Shang looked at Luo Yitao's face full of anger and laughed heartily. Then, he took out the green dragon demon-slain broadsword and threw it at the Fire Divine Palace Lord. When the others saw this, they regretted that they did not hit Luo Yitao the same way. Otherwise, they would have been able to obtain the divine blade. The Fire Divine Palace Lord was the disciple of the Fire Emperor and was very strong himself. Even if all the other strong warriors joined hands, they would still not be able to take him down, not to mention that he still had the green dragon demon-slain broadsword with him. "So heavy, haha, the divine blade is mine now." The Fire Divine Palace Lord laughed crazily, but he could not keep the divine blade into the storage magic treasure. He just felt that it was normal for him to not have a good storage magic treasure and not be able to keep the divine blade. Chen Shang laughed coldly in his heart, because the green dragon demon-slain broadsword was still his. With just a thought, this divine blade would immediately return to him. This was the secret of the green dragon demon-slain broadsword. Even if he wanted to give it to others, he might not be able to give it to them. The old city lord from the Heaven Sword City glared at Luo Yitao. Because of Luo Yitao, he felt that Chen Shang would not give them any benefits. The Fire Divine Palace Lord held the green dragon demon-slain broadsword and stabbed it into a hole. Then, he started to spin, and finally opened a door. After the door opened, everyone saw a wide hall. There were many black chairs, the floor and carpet were all black, and only the pearls hanging in the hall emitted white light. Everything else was pitch black, making it look extremely strange. This is the Great Hall of the Evil Emperor back then. An ancestor of our Xie clan had a meeting here with the Evil Emperor. The Emperor's tomb should be under that chair, the Xie clan elder said. Chapter 1436. Go, sit in that chair. The old man from Xie clan pushed Chen Shang. Chen Shang now had no choice but to walk towards the black gigantic chair in the hall. Stepping on the black carpet, he felt extremely soft, and traces of evil energy seeped into his body. The chair in front was placed on a high platform, and required one to walk up the 81 steps to reach it. With every step Chen Shang took, his heart secretly jumped, afraid that he would trigger some mechanism to kill him. They didn't even dare to go over there, because this was something left behind by the evil emperor. It was extremely dangerous, and no one dared to try it with their own life. After the evil divine palace S took control of the evil divine palace, they became the palace of the evil emperor S. It's no longer as frightening as before, but it's still very easy to kill us. The Fire Divine Palace Lord said. Chen Shang had already reached the 70th step. After hearing the Fire Divine Palace Lord's words, he understood what was going on. He was actually being controlled by the evil emperor, which meant that the evil emperor was a very powerful individual, but why would he have a tomb? After arriving at the top of the stage, Chen Shang stood in front of the black-colored chair. Even though he did not have any aura, he gave off a kind of indescribable feeling of fear, as if it would end his life if he were to continue on. Hurry up and do it, the elder from Xie clan said. He seemed to know something and urged Chen Shang to sit down. Chen Shang clenched his teeth and sat down. In that instant, the entire hall trembled violently, and Chen Shang also felt the energy in his body wildly flow away, making him shocked that his own life force was also being quickly devoured. In the middle of the hall, a huge stone door suddenly rose from the ground. There were 2 holes on the door, one needed to insert a green dragon demon-slain broadsword, and the other was a heavenly evil sword. This kid just died like that, the old man from the devil-suppressing divine palace said in surprise. Everyone saw Chen Shang retreating to the side. His face was covered with wrinkles and he looked lifeless. It's a pity, he still has many good things on him, especially that heaven-earth killing method. The Xie clan elder shook his head and sighed. Let's go, as long as we enter the emperor's tomb, we will be safe. At that time, we can leave the emperor's tomb from the transmission array. The Xie clan elder took the heavenly evil sword and stabbed it into the stone door that appeared in the great hall. The stone door slowly opened on both sides and revealed a dimensional door. I can't pull it out. The Fire Divine Palace Lord used a lot of strength, but the green dragon demon-slain broadsword seemed to be embedded inside that hole. The same goes for the heavenly evil sword. The Xie clan elder frowned. Let's go in first, no one can come here. The Fire Divine Palace Lord looked at the divine blade reluctantly, sighed, and stepped into the space gate. When everyone followed in, the door slowly closed, and Chen Shang, who was seated on the black chair, suddenly opened his eyes. The withered muscles on his face slowly expanded, and in a few blinks of an eye, he returned to his original appearance. This bunch of idiots, Chen Shang cursed. Then, in a flash, Long Shui ran out from inside the ring and broke the rope on his body. You were almost finished this time. Long Shui chuckled. Can you undo the seal in my body? These guys really have some skills. Chen Shang immediately ran to the door and took down Green Dragon Demon-slain Broadsword S. When he was seated on the chair just now, he had felt his lifespan running out quickly. At that time, he had thought of a clever plan, which was to feign death, and let Long Shui use his supernatural powers to seal a part of his lifespan, causing him to die of old age, and deceive those people. And those people did not dare approach, fearing that they might end up like Chen Shang. I need some time. Long Shui inspected his body, his expression heavy. The fastest is going to be a few days, I wonder if those guys will come out. Chen Shang found a place in the main hall to hide and asked Long Shui to help him undo the seals. At that time, when space collapsed, Chen Shang and the people from the Heaven Sword City had disappeared, and Duanming and the Region Lord had anxiously released their powers to protect everyone. They had always been shouting and shouting here, searching for Chen Shang. However, when the people from those few forces stepped into the spatial gate, people who were beneath the Seven Suns suddenly entered a green forest. When they sensed the dense immortal chi and the refreshing air, everyone knew that they had left Evil Divine Palace. However, they did not understand, because they did not know why it was like that. My brother didn't come out. What's wrong with him? Lang Yulan was extremely worried. She looked around for Chen Zhang's figure. The fellow from Heaven Sword City is also not here. Long Huishan said in a low voice. The people from the Imperial Dragon clan are also here, and they were not with us at the time. It seems that all the people trapped inside have all come out. The people from the Fire Divine Palace and the Devil Suppressing Divine Palace have also yet to come out. Yan Shan said. Back then, when we met them, they did not appear here. What's going on? Long Huishan felt that there must be some sort of secret within. The Sacred Source Ancient Realms Territory Lord took a light breath. If my guess is not wrong, it should be them who captured Chen Shang. Why did they want to capture Chen Shang? Could it be because, about the heavenly evil sword? Duan Ming suddenly thought of something, and the Xie clan did not appear, and the Xie clan had already arrived. The heavenly evil sword can open the ruins left behind by the evil emperor. If I'm not wrong, then the evil divine palace might have already been controlled by the evil emperor a long time ago. I heard that the old city lords and the first disciple of the fire emperor, as well as the ancestor of the Xie family and the old hall king of the devil suppressing divine palace were all dispatched here for this matter. Chen Shang has been captured by these 4 old ghosts and is almost guaranteed to die. If they can enter the emperor's tomb and obtain the legacies left behind by the evil emperor, you should be clear about what will happen next. Go back and prepare well. All right. Dragon Emperor gave a cold snort, glanced at Lang Yulan, and quickly left with their dragon. The Domain Lord's tone was serious. Everyone should hurry back and make the arrangements. If they succeed, 9 days definitely won't be peaceful. Then what about my brother? Lang Yulan asked anxiously. The Domain Lord shook his head and then left with Yanshan and the others. Yulan, that kid will be fine. Let's go back first. Long Huishan pulled Lang Yulan, but she did not expect such an unforeseen event to occur. Lang Yulan was worried. He nodded and looked around, then followed Long Huishan and the others. Duan Ming had already left a long time ago, and Lu Zongyu and Song Ying had also realized that something big was going to happen soon. They hurriedly left to search for Lu Menger and Shui Shenxian, and then, they returned to the Human King Immortal country. Chapter 1437. Someone had entered Evil Emperor's tomb chamber, so those trapped outside were also released, but Chen Shang was still inside. He did not know what had happened, and even more so did not know what the people inside had obtained. Wait until the seal on my body is removed. Do you want to go in and take a look? There were several strong seals on Chen Zhang's body, sealing his Dantian and Divine Sense C. We'll talk about it when the time comes. Let's see what happens in the next few days. Long Shui said. In a few days, the seal on Chen Zhang's body was released. At this time, he was carefully inspecting the hall, wanting to see if there was any way for him to enter the tomb. I wonder if they will be able to come back here. Chen Shang looked at the place that originally had a huge door and felt very uncomfortable in his heart. He had come here with great difficulty to look for the evil emperor's mausoleum, but had instead been found by someone else in the end. There's movement, Long Shui suddenly shouted, and Chen Shang immediately used his transformation technique, transforming into a small worm, hiding on top of the ceiling of the hall. The disturbance that Long Shui was talking about was a very strong spatial fluctuation. From above, Chen Shang could see that on the black carpet below, a stone door was slowly rising. It was the stone door that had disappeared earlier. This made Chen Shang somewhat unable to understand, because the stone door required Heavenly Evil Sword S and Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword S to open. The 2 keys were currently on him. They must have obtained something from the tomb, so they can control this stone door. There are Heavenly Evil Sword and Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword here. Even if they went out, they would think of ways to come back. Long Shui said. The space gate shook for a moment, and then people started walking out, all of them being the people who entered earlier. The Fire Divine Palace Lord was full of smiles as he said, "Fortunately we can return. We should be able to take down the Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword S and Spirit Beasts now. Without them, we simply cannot open the black coffin in the Evil Emperor. Although we have obtained many good items and cultivation techniques, the strongest should be inside that jade coffin. For those top-grade immortal equipment and holy level cultivation techniques we have obtained, compared to the reputation of the Evil Emperor, they are still too inferior." The old man from Devil Suppressing Divine Palace said. Just as he finished speaking, he saw that the others' faces were strange, and then suddenly changed, because the green dragon demon slain broadsword above the stone door in their faces disappeared. Chen Shang, who had died an old death on the stage, had also disappeared. They were not stupid, and immediately guessed that Chen Shang was not dead. They regretted not striking out with their palms, but they did not dare to do so. Chen Shang should have already left. The seal in his body is still there, he definitely won't be able to make it out far. If we go out now, we might be able to catch him. The Xie clan elder said. When we entered the tomb, those people that were trapped outside should have left already. I wonder if Chen Shang will meet them. We should hurry up and teleport out, capture Chen Shang and then enter to open the black coffin. Soon after, they hurriedly entered the space gate. Right now, the stone door would not close either, unless they controlled it from the inside. Chen Shang hid up there, waited for more than 2 hours, and then entered the spatial gate. Passing through the space gate, he arrived at a spacious stone room. The 4 walls were pitch black, and there were red light beads emitting an evil red glow at the top. There were many cabinets and chairs on the 4 walls, and they were all in a mess. The stone room was about 150 meters wide, and there should be a lot of things placed inside. Thinking of this, Chen Shang was inwardly angry, because he could have obtained these things originally. In the middle of the stone room, there was a very ordinary black coffin. It seemed like it was made out of wood, and on top of the black coffin was a huge pearl of red light. Chen Shang looked behind him. The dimensional door was still open, so he anxiously walked over, inserting the green dragon demon slain broadsword's handle in the heavenly evil sword's body through the 2 holes and closed the door, preventing them from entering. There's a transmission array over there. It should be able to be teleported out. Long Shui said. Chen Shang looked towards a corner where a circular formation that emitted a faint white light was located. Because someone had used it just now, the condensed energy had not dissipated yet. I wonder what will be inside. Once I open it, I wonder if it will be dangerous in the future. Chen Shang came to the side of the black coffin. There were 2 holes on the side of the coffin lid. One look and one could tell that it required green dragon demon slain broadsword S and heavenly evil sword S to open it. I don't think so. Those bastards came here to mess things up, and they all lived quite well. There was a keyhole left behind for the green dragon demon slain broadsword and the heavenly evil sword, so there must be something that they want to pass on. Long Shui urged her. Hurry up and open it to see. It might not only be evil emperor's things, there are also the things that evil emperor obtained from here after he took control of the evil divine palace. The existence of the evil divine palace was even more ancient than the strong warriors of this era in the 10 heavens supreme lord. The original appearance of the evil divine palace was not grand, instead it was a little dilapidated. Its entire body was pitch black and one of its palace was devoid of any life, lying tightly in a forest near the evil dragon mountain range. When Chen Shang closed the door, evil divine palace suddenly disappeared into thin air. After sensing the presence of the Xie clan, devil suppressing divine palace, fire divine palace and heaven sword city, he immediately used his fastest speed. He's gone. The old man from the Xie clan shouted. Someone must have closed that door, which was why the evil divine palace disappeared. So you're saying, Chen Shang is still inside? Fire divine palace lord clenched his teeth and said. Not necessarily. Even if it's inside his body, evil divine palace shouldn't be able to disappear. The old man from the Xie clan took out a black disc and frowned. The evil divine palace has disappeared completely. We will know the location of the evil divine palace with this disc. Let's first look around and see if we can find Chen Shang, since we have obtained a lot of things, which can allow us to gain even more power, and when we go back and digest those things, we'll then contend for the position of 9th heaven. The Fire Divine Palace Lord said. Even though they did not obtain the items inside the black coffin, the large amount of treasures inside the tomb was enough to satisfy these ancient experts. Chen Shang stood by the side of the black coffin and was able to hear the conversation between the people outside. He was very curious about what the treasures in the coffin contained, to actually be able to give them so much confidence. The evil divine palace did not completely disappear. Instead, he floated in the air, becoming transparent. Quick, open it and take a look, you are in urgent need of increasing your strength right now. Long Shui urged. Chen Shang did not hesitate anymore. He took out green dragon demon slain broadsword S, placed them into the 2 holes, and only saw that the red light inside the tomb suddenly turned into white light, while the black coffin also became a white jade coffin. Chapter 1438. Chen Shang looked around in shock. Originally, this was a terrifying tomb filled with bloody light, but now it looked so comfortable. The black coffin in front of him didn't look like a coffin, but more like a snow-white jade chest. He slowly opened the heavy lid, and what entered his sight was a golden liquid. The entire box was filled with these items. The pale golden liquid released waves after waves of light fog that assaulted his face. Chen Shang only absorbed a bit of the light fog before he suddenly felt a large amount of innate qi entering his body. This is the holy elixir. Only emperor-level characters can condense this holy elixir. There's actually so much of it, it should be something left behind by the evil emperor. Long Shui was so excited that he ran out to grab the light golden liquid with his hands. How should I use it? Chen Shang also touched it, his face changing greatly. His arm was in extreme pain, because a large amount of energy was crazily surging into his body. His current body could not handle all of these things. The holy elixir of this chest. More than that, you should be able to convert all of the innate qi in your body into holy energy. If you were to cultivate normally, you would need to undergo the 9 transformations of the immortal becoming realm to fully transform into holy energy. Long Shui said excitedly. Chen Shang was also excited. There's so much, if we want to completely absorb it, it will take a long time. Do you want to absorb it together with me? No need, I'll leave it for you. Sister Mei Yao and Sister Yu don't need it either, you have to become stronger quickly. Long Shui said. Right now, I am only at the late period of human immortal. Once I completely refine it, I will be able to step into the realm of immortal kings. Will that affect me in the future? Chen Shang did not dare touch the holy elixir again, as it was simply too dangerous. And Long Shui had just fished a few more times, but nothing had happened, showing just how strong her physical body was. There must be something else for you at the bottom of this jade box. Moreover, you don't have anything else that can contain this sacred liquid, unless you use the divine cauldron. Long Shui said. If you pour a little, it will immediately fuse with the world. This jade chest is specially made to contain this sacred liquid. There was a profound yang fire crow sealed inside the divine cauldron, so they definitely could not release it. Looks like I'll have to spend a lot of time here. Chen Shang decided that he would never leave this place unless he absorbed this pool of sacred liquid. This holy elixir is extremely precious, it allows you to convert the innate qi into holy energy in advance. Long Shui said. After the immortal king realm is the immortal becoming realm, you will need to undergo 9 transformations before the immortal qi can be converted into saint force. Wouldn't that mean that I have completed the 9th cycle of the sacred transformation? Chen Shang asked. No, in the process of the transformation into 9 cycles, you will still need to constantly increase the power within your body, and at that time, all you need to do is to strengthen your body while transforming your saint force into a higher form. Long Shui said excitedly. This way, your starting point will be very high, and with the heaven-earth killing method and 4 symbols divine weapons you control, you will definitely be very strong in the future. This holy elixir is much more precious than other things. Bai Yu said. Anyways, you have time here, so why not train with the pills, cultivate with the heaven-earth killing method, and increase your divine soul. In addition, as long as the sacred animal Dan and the god eclipse powder were to be properly awakened, they could also become mid-grade heaven level S. As for the high-grade heaven level medicinal ingredients, he also had them, so he could cultivate in seclusion here for a long period of time. After that group of fellows leave, it'll definitely take a long time to digest the treasures they've obtained. Hopefully you'll be able to make it up to that time. Su Meiyao said. I'll do my best. Chen Shang extended his hand into the chest and soaked it in the pale golden liquid. Using his qi method, he absorbed and refined the power. The matter of the Xie family, Fire Divine Palace, Devil Suppressing Divine Palace, and Heaven Sword City in the Evil Dragon Mountain Range had already been found out by the higher-ups of many major forces. The big powers had arranged a few spies amongst the 4 great powers, and now they had received some information. The 4 great powers had truly obtained some things left behind by the evil emperor, and there were even a lot of them. But by doing so, they offended the Imperial Dragon Clan, because it was their territory and the Xie clan did not go to look for the Imperial Dragon Clan. Instead, they went to Devil Suppressing Divine Palace and the Fire Divine Palace, and a dragon even died there. He used to have a good relationship with these 4 great forces, but after some probing, he realized that these 4 great forces did not have the intention to share the harvest with their friends, but instead wanted to control them, causing the other immortal country immortal palaces to clash with the 4 great forces. Inside one of the palaces in Human King Immortal Country, Wu Kanghong's face was gloomy. At the moment, the Human King Immortal Country was discussing how to deal with this situation. In this conference hall, all of the other palace masters were palace masters, most of them were immortal kings. Amongst the 9 emperors, we only know that the Fire Emperor still exists and is in control of the Fire Divine Palace, but back then, the Fire Emperor was heavily injured by the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord and has not recovered yet. Even now, he is not as strong as before, but in the 9 heavens, he is still a top-notch existence. This was what Wu Kanghong was most worried about. If Fire Emperor did not stop us, the ones to suffer should be us Immortal Country, right? He will definitely exterminate or subdue the ones in charge of all of the Immortal Country, and then, he will take action against those superpowers. Lu Zongyu sighed, I don't know who will be able to stop him. Amongst the 9 emperors, his Ice Emperor had already been killed by Chen Shang, and the whereabouts of the others are unknown. It's fortunate that the Ice Emperor died, otherwise we would be in an even more miserable state. Although we wouldn't tolerate each other's actions, these 2 emperors had done many embarrassing things. An old man said. Looks like I have to invite those old ancestors out, and go discuss them with the other Immortal Countries. Wu Kanghong said. In just a few short days, many rumors were causing panic among the people. This was because everyone felt as if a great battle was about to break out at any moment. It was just like the Great War from ancient times. However, there were also those who remained calm. They felt that this matter did not concern them at all. If they were to fight, it would be because of the great powers. There was no way that they would have a good show to watch. Chen Shang had also disappeared during this period of time. Some of his friends were looking for him, but they couldn't find him. There were no clues, but they knew that he went missing in the evil divine palace. At first, Lu Meng'er was very worried about Chen Shang, but after seeing Hua Shangyu, she felt a lot more at ease. This was because Hua Shangyu had a contract with Chen Shang, so if Chen Shang died, Hua Shangyu would also die, but Hua Shangyu was still fine now. Chapter 1439. Chen Shang had already stayed in Evil Divine Palace for 10 days. He tried to use his hands to dig out the bottom of the jade box, but he could not find anything. It did not seem to be anything, but he could feel some lines. He guessed it was spirit grain or something like that. Every time he absorbed the sacred liquid for a period of time, he would refine 1 or 2 mid-grade heaven-level pills using the God purification. Right now, he had extremely strong flames and divine soul, so he could use the God purification rather easily. It wasn't as difficult as before, but the consumption rate was still as fast, especially when using the Rainbow Heaven Fire. I need to refine more God Eclipse powder. This thing will work best with the Drunk God Magical Poison. Chen Shang said, wanting to use Creation Divine Liquid S to mature the Broken Soul Tree. The older the Broken Soul Tree, the higher the quality of the God Eclipse powder that was refined. No, I need to first refine a middle heaven level sacred animal Dan. Right now, I also need to raise my strength urgently. I have a bad premonition. Long Shui said very seriously. He wasn't as coquettish as before. Alright, wait for me to successfully refine the manifestation pill. Chen Shang said. Long Shui being able to raise his strength was a very important matter. Chen Shang still had one thing that made him uneasy all day, and that was that Luo Yitao had an engagement with him, and the Luo family also had a very strong old city lord. If Luo Yitao lost to Leng Yulan that day, he would definitely hold a grudge, and adding to the fact that he was heavily injured by Chen Shang with a punch earlier, he didn't know if Lu Zongyu and his wife could suppress the Luo family and prevent Lu Meng'er from marrying Luo Yitao. You don't have to worry too much, the divine craftsman's descendants still have strength. Lu Meng'er's parents' master must be very strong, if not Divine Sword Palace would not be so respectful to them. Su Meiyao said. In our era, the descendant of the divine artisan was a legendary expert. Although they rarely came out to travel, their prestige always remained. If the Heaven Sword City wanted to fight against them, he would have to pay a heavy price. Bai Yuyu said. Although they said it like that, Chen Shang was still worried. He could only speed up his cultivation. As long as he was strong enough, he would be able to fight against the Heaven Sword City. Time flew by, and in the blink of an eye, 100 years had passed. 100 years was just a blink of an eye period for 9 days, but in the eyes of many, this period of time was extremely important, especially after knowing that the 4 great powers had obtained the evil emperor's inheritance. Coupled with the fact that DTN was slowly growing up, the rhythm of the 9 heavens was much faster. A great era was coming, and if one did not quickly possess strength in these 9 days, then one would be eliminated when the great era arrived. If one wanted to stand firm at that time, then they must work hard right now. Chen Shang had been missing for 100 years, and in these 100 years, there had been no news of him. There were rumors that he was killed by the 4 great forces in Evil Divine Palace, and Luo Yitao had often bragged about how he treated Chen Shang that day. When Chen Shang was in the Evil Divine Palace, he was indeed captured by the 4 great forces, but they didn't say anything about him escaping later on. Chen Shang hadn't appeared for 100 years, and they truly believed that Chen Shang died because with Chen Zhang's surname, as long as he was alive, it was impossible for him not to cause any big ruckus. Without Chen Shang causing trouble, the 9 heavens were indeed much calmer than before. However, this tranquility was like before the arrival of a storm, brewing with torrential rains that could descend at any time. For example, Luo Yitao, ever since he came back from Evil Divine Palace, his strength had increased by leaps and bounds, and he often challenged some young experts, and even Hefeng was defeated by him. Now, he had already become an immortal king. Hefeng and him became immortal kings at about the same time, so when the two fought with the strength of the immortal king, in the end, Hefeng still lost. Luo Yitao's achievements were plentiful. Everyone believed that the reason he had such strength was because he had obtained the evil emperor's inheritance, and other than that, the Xie clan's Xie Kong was also doing the same. Currently, the 4 youngest immortal kings were all from the 4 great powers, and they all had the legacies of the evil emperor's. Luo Yitao frequently went to the Long family's immortal palace to challenge Leng Yulin, but Leng Yulin never came out to fight. Over time, everyone thought that Leng Yulin was afraid. After all, Luo Yitao was the immortal king, although Leng Yulin had defeated Luo Yitao before. If he did not defeat Leng Yulin within a day, the hatred in Luo Yitao's heart would not be eradicated. Ever since Chen Shang went missing, Luo Yitao had replaced him and became the young man with the greatest reputation. Although the things he did were not as world-shaking as Chen Shang, and he even relied on the Heaven Sword City behind him, but everyone could not help but admit that strength was indeed strong, and now, even some old immortal kings did not dare to compete with him. However, on this day, a shocking piece of news spread out. The disciple of the divine artisan's descendant was actually going to be married to Luo Yitao. Many people knew that Lu Meng'er and Luo Yitao had enmity, and there were rumors that the divine artisan's descendant had gone to the Heaven Sword City to discuss on how to rescind the engagement, but who knew that it would turn into a war and the divine artisan's descendant would lose in the end, so they could only agree. Holy Pellet Region, Long family's immortal palace, Shui Shenxian was in the Long family's huge mansion. When Leng Yulin, who was cultivating behind closed doors, heard that Shui Shenxian had arrived, he immediately rushed to the hall. "How is master?" Leng Yulin asked anxiously. She had also heard about the marriage between Lu Meng'er and Luo Yitao. A divine artisan descendant sent a few strong warriors to watch over elder sister Meng'er, preventing her from escaping. Furthermore, her parents were also closely watched by that divine artisan descendant. Shui Shenxian's face was filled with helplessness as he looked towards Long Huishan for help. "Big sister Long, we definitely cannot let elder sister Meng'er marry that bastard. With Yulin and my strength, we simply cannot stop him. Furthermore, when the time comes, Fire Divine Palace, Devil Suppressing Divine Palace and the Xie clan will help the Heaven Sword City. They have long wanted to make a move against us." Long Huishan frowned as he considered the pros and cons. "Big sister, elder sister Meng'er is my brother's woman, you have to take action," Leng Yulin said, revealing the relationship between Chen Shang and the two of them. "What?" Long Huishan was shocked as she looked at Shui Shenxian and Leng Yulin. Although she had known that Chen Shang and Lu Meng'er were relatively close, she had not thought that it would develop to such an extent. Shui Shenxian nodded. "When I was in DTN, in short, it's already very early. This little scoundrel has secretly helped my master many times, and he was the one who helped to create my master's fire soul." Quote, "This brat, this is my master and my disciple." Long Huishan didn't know whether to laugh or cry as he looked at Shui Shenxian and Lu Meng'er. "Alright, looks like we can only fight. If it wasn't for this kid helping me back then, the current Long family wouldn't exist either." Long Huishan sighed. "It's because of him that the other old dragons of the Ice Dragon bloodline have gathered together." Chapter 1440, and Wu Kaming were currently in the same hotel. Although a huge table of luxurious and expensive dishes were placed on the table, the two of them did not eat anything. They had already waited here for more than 2 hours. Is that old lunatic playing with us on purpose? Or did he forget the time? He hasn't come for so long. Wu Kaming rubbed his bald head and said impatiently. Probably not. This time, he looks very anxious. Ji Dongchen shook his head. They all knew that Huang Jintian called them over to stop Luo Yitao from marrying Lu Menger. Ji Dongchen and Wu Kaming both knew about the relationship between Chen Shang and Lu Menger. If Chen Shang hadn't disappeared for so long, they definitely wouldn't have worried, because Chen Shang himself would definitely be able to handle it. But at this crucial point, when Chen Shang still hadn't appeared, Huang Jintian was already somewhat anxious. Huang Jintian came, wearing a bamboo hat and disguised himself as a hunchbacked old man. After entering, he first cleaned up the dishes on the table, burped, and then said slowly, "The two of you have grown up quite fast, both of you are immortal kings, but you guys are too stingy, don't call it a bigger table. Martial ancestor, we can order another table of food over right now." Ji Dongchen said with a smile. Huang Jintian did not find Wang Weiquan and Xiao Profoundian because their relationship with Lu Zongyu was too good and Chen Shang did not want them to know about his and Lu Menger's relationship. At this time, a person pushed open the door and walked in. It was a lady in a purple dress with an elegant figure. She took off her veil, revealing a beautiful and enchanting face. She was truly Hua Shangyu. Master Ancestor, shouldn't you call Master and Mistress over? They are both very strong. If you ask, they will definitely agree, said. In the hundreds of flowers immortal country, she had received Huang Jintian's notice and quickly rushed over. Huang Jintian shook his head. Wei Quan and Zan Yun originally had a female child, and now there is an extra brat. We are not only fighting against the Heaven Sword City, there are also a few big powers, and they are currently a whole family. We cannot involve them, because that female child and that brat have not grown up yet. As for us, we are all free and unconcerned. Even if we get into trouble, we will not drag our family down. We can slip away by ourselves. Hua Shangyu nodded his head. Master Ancestor is right, even though we are all already immortal kings, but when the time comes, we will not only be facing the Heaven Sword City, maybe I will use the pills in my hands to recruit more helpers. No need, although Chen Shang is missing, his group of little ghosts are still around. Although they are not immortal kings, if they are playing dirty, the immortal kings will all fall at their hands, and they have followed Duan Chong for so many years, and there's also the mysterious expert who snatched the divine sword from you. Huang Jintian lowered her voice and said, that little girl Shenxian has already escaped Divine Artisan Mountain Villa, and should be at the Ice Dragon family right now. Wu Kaming, Ji Dongchen and Hua Shangyu were all secretly surprised in their hearts. They never thought that the power to help Chen Shang would be so robust. You three brats, at that time, if your identities are exposed, you will immediately distance yourselves from your master and say that you joined the dragon subduing school. This way, it won't implicate your master's family. Huang Jintian warned. Ji Dongchen said, why do you say that we are joining the dragon subduing school? Huang Jintian laughed, what's wrong with joining the dragon subduing school? Chen Shang is extremely rich. When DTN appears above the 9 heavens in the future, his dragon vein will be enough to make many big guys jealous, let alone those precious herbs he has. Wu Kaming sighed. Looks like I have to leave the Wu family, but there's no other way. Right now Human King Immortal Country does not dare to offend Divine Artisan Mountain Villa, let alone the great powers like Heaven Sword City and Fire Divine Palace. Hua Shangyu angrily snorted. This Divine Artisan Mountain Villa is really something. It's fine if they don't stop him from marrying out, but they even trapped Menger. Even her parents are being watched by those people. What exactly did they eat wrong? Wu Kaming and Ji Dongchen were also confused. They had only heard that the Divine Artisan's successor had lost to someone from the Heaven Sword City, so they had to keep their promise. Master Ancestor, this is just as the rumors say, the descendants of the Divine Craftsman will lose to the Heaven Sword City. Ji Dongchen asked. In the eyes of Ji Dongchen and the other two, Huang Jintian was an almighty existence, whose strength was always unknown, and furthermore, it rarely lost out to them. Nope, Huang Jintian snorted, looks like he knows the inside information as well. There are a few old fellows in the Divine Artisan Mountain Villa who would only agree to marry Lu Menger because they covet some things in the Heaven Sword City. They exchanged Lu Menger for some very precious things, which were taken out by the Heaven Sword City from the Emperor's tomb. I don't know the specifics. Hua Shangyu frowned. Although Menger's inherent skill is not bad, she isn't worth Heaven Sword City exchanging with such a precious thing, right? Lu Menger now had the strength of an immortal king, and there were also many women who were better than Lu Menger. Just based on the temptation of the evil emperor's inheritance, it was possible for a few female immortal kings to marry into the Heaven Sword City's Luo family. Lu Meng'er has one of the 4 symbols divine weapons S. Huang Jintian said in a low voice. I heard that this thing had always been on Lu Meng'er's body and they were unable to take it off. Even so, Heaven Sword City still intends to first marry Lu Meng'er and then try to take it away. When Hua Shangyu heard this, he was instantly enraged. This bunch of bastards, this is a deal, what did they take Meng'er to be? Wu Kaming said, that Suzaku divine weapon can't even take it down from the divine artisan mountain villa S. Ji Yu Dongchen said, if we were to obtain it, they would not hand Lu Meng'er over to the evil emperor for some inheritance. I wonder what would happen if Junior Marshal Uncle knew about this. Huang Jintian sneered, if that brat knew, both Heaven Sword City and Divine Artisan Mountain Villa would not have been spared. Although that brat isn't that strong, when it comes to tricks, even I am ashamed of myself and can't kill them. That's enough, now we'll go to the Long family and reunite with the others before discussing the process of the wedding. After Huang Jintian finished speaking, he added, help me pay the teleportation fees, I'm a little tight with money. Shui Shenxian had initially been imprisoned like Lu Meng'er, but now that they suddenly escaped, it caused the Divine Artisan Mountain Villa to be cautious, but they thought that Shui Shenxian would not be able to create too much of a commotion. As for Chen Shang, he was still in the evil Divine Palace, and he had to use 100 years to absorb and refine the box of sacred liquid.